I'm Alex.
And I'm Teddy.
And I'm Spencer.
And we are
The Button Mappers.
Hey, the Button Mappers.
I'm Teddy today.
Live.
Oh, are we recording?
We're recording. Well, no, we're not live, but we're live and recording.
We are alive. That is true.
We're not
There's
live,
no denying that. Yeah.
but we're live.
Unless this is the afterlife, in which case
Pretty
we
good
are dead.
afterlife. Not bad.
Yeah,
Not
I'll take
bad.
it.
Not-
I like
not-
the idea.
Not quite heaven. It's not heaven, but it's not hell. It's
I just imagine. I like the idea that you get to the afterlife, like you're just like, yeah, not bad. It's just like not.
I can see this.
Not very impressed, but you're just like,
yeah.
it'll do.
It ain't half bad. Yeah.
Gates are a little low rent, but you know, we're dealing.
So this is where I spend eternity, huh? Okay.
We'll make it work.
Can't complain.
Could be better.
You know me, I can't
If we're
complain.
dead, guys, if we're dead, that means we all have a halo, right?
He's steady today.
That's,
You can tell.
that's pretty. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Who does that make you?
I'm dead.
Well, jeez.
I am on the brink of death. I have a cough. Hem. You might hear it a couple times throughout the episode.
I gave it to Teddy when
There's
I
one.
kissed him.
Guys, what did I tell you about kissing?
What did I tell you about
If you're gonna-
kissing?
If you're gonna do it, make sure I'm there. Stop doing it without me, God.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times Alex has told me that. It's money to count.
I heard you two boys been smooching, and I have to say, what the hell,
Invite.
guys? Yeah, I'm feeling left out. Welcome everybody to the episode today. This is my pick for my first month of the year that I got to pick things because we're doing the weird roulette this year, and it's a fun adventure. And my first pick was a little game that has some importance within gaming itself. Today we're going to talk about Halo Combat Evolved. We're going to map it out, talk about the missions, talk about how sexy Master Chief is, and we are going to shoot some grubs. Not grubs. That's gears. We're going to shoot some grunts, and have a good old time. Before we start, though, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you want to hear more about Halo. Even though this is the end of the month, but we had done previous content, I guess. We'll clip that, and don't forget to leave us a comment and like the video. Yeah. Are you guys excited to talk about Halo?
Hail, yeah, yo.
Hell yeah.
Halo, yo.
Dude, I gotta say, in replaying this game, there's a lot of memories, not just from Halo specifically, but just from like being a gamer at this time, that just flooded back into my brain. And on the game
Flooded.
itself, I just have so much to say about both positive and negative, but more just like from a historical perspective, just so much to say about this game. It's crazy.
It really is. I played the last couple missions with Alex, and we were just talking about how like this was the experience. You know, this was just so revolutionary back then. So I'm excited to kind of get into that today.
Yeah, it's. I think Halo Combat Evolved is like a time capsule. You know.
Yes.
Just like a moment in time that will never be repeated. So it's kind of awesome to like get to go back and experience that and talk about it today.
For sure.
Before we start the actual map out, we are going to do some fun facts with the Button Boys. Play some banjo music. And Teddy's gonna grab his banjo. Oh shit, he has a banjo. Oh hell yeah, dude. Play us out. No, play us in. Beautiful. Fun facts with the Button Boys. Today's fun facts, we are going to talk about fun facts from Halo Combat Evolved. I'm going to pass it around. First up, I'm going to pass it to my boy Spencer. I'm going to stick a sticky grenade to him, and he's going to run in fear.
Yeah, mine is probably the most known fact, I'm sure, about people that really are into Halo. And Alex, you may have even told me this before, but I was looking up stuff to talk about, and at least this is one that I found interesting enough that I can talk about it for a while. Is that Halo didn't start out as a first-person shooter; it was actually a tactics game, which is kind of funny because a little bit ago I reviewed Halo Combat, the tactics one too.
Wars,
Halo
Wars
Wars
2.
2. And I was like, man, it's they should go back to just being a first-person shooter. That's where it's best. Turns out it was originally a tactics game. So I just find that so interesting that they and you can sort of see it in the way that they've got the other Spartans traveling with you, which was revolutionary also at this game. And when we talk about this game later, it's just going to be nothing but this would never been done before and yada yada. But yeah, like the you did feel in some ways like it was a tactics game when you were, but in first person, when you were working with your other Spartans and you were fighting the Flood or mostly the Covenant with them. And there's like a feeling of camaraderie that I don't think had been in a first person shooter, especially on console. Ever when playing this. So it was interesting to know that they actually originally designed it as a tactics game. I'd be interested to see how some of it would work, especially the insides of the ships, if that was added as a first person, because those feel very first person shooter. But maybe they had a design for the ships that was entirely different. But it would be interesting to see that, or some early draw-ups of that. I'm sure they exist. And that would be really fun. I'm glad they made a first-person shooter because I just I think what they did for consoles was so big that I don't think it would have had the same impact as a tactics game. I mean, they probably weren't making it for consoles anyway, but yeah, really interesting and glad it came out as a first-person shooter. Good job, Bungie.
Yeah, I forget if it was actually for Apple, but I know they were making it for Mac. So there's an alternate reality where Halo came out as a Mac exclusive strategy game or whatever, tactic game. So, where it's just like the whole gaming industry itself would just be way different if that had happened.
And there was no Xbox 360.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, really. I mean, I was going to talk about this later. This isn't my fact, but I was going to talk about this later. But like, really, I mean, Microsoft kind of poached the project, brought it into their studio. They turned it into an FPS, and just that was Xbox. Like, without the first Halo game, there wouldn't have been an Xbox brand, right? It was just this game single-handedly created an entire brand. Yes, which is insane. I mean, there's some other good games on the original Xbox. Don't get me wrong, but like nothing with this staying power, you know?
No. Not even close.
It's funny that, you know, it's really not like, I mean, it's a complete deviation from strategy, but the co-op element really does involve a lot of strategy, and not too much. I mean, it's basically like your teammates get killed and go walk back until they can respawn, or watch them as they defeat like all these enemies. And you could be kind of shouting through the headset, "Hey, look to, you know, behind you, 6 o'clock." I remember playing this back in the day, local co-player, and then like, you know, we'd be talking like that too, like giving all sorts of directions to the teammate and stuff. And you know, it's half shooting the shit and it's half you know, shouting commands at each other, like "Watch out!" like, you know, Covenant behind you. So it could be pretty fun.
There's still some strategy though. I think just the strategy and like having even playing co-op and like having a game plan, like getting to one of the open areas and being like, okay, I'm gonna steal the Banshee over here. You take out the turrets, like, you know. So there is still sort of an element of that left in the game.
Yeah, I was going to debate you guys on that because I was going to say a lot of first-person shooters have strategy, but then when I really think about it, it's because of this game. So yeah, you guys are right.
What was it? We were playing Gears of War, and I don't remember. Was that one is actually like really designed for co-op and strategy. You got to pick up your teammate. Like, there's none of that in Halo. You know, at first I'd be like, oh, it's kind of just an afterthought. But really, with this first one, I really think, because I played 6 chapters solo on heroic difficulty. I'm like, yo, you need to be playing this with a teammate.
I don't know how you did that. I was screaming at my TV on normal, so
All right.
A lot of passion.
Let's toss Teddy the sniper rifle, and he could snipe our next fact or trivia.
Thank you, Spencer, for passing the sniper rifle. Let me
You didn't
snipe
pass him
this
a
fact
sniper
for you,
rifle.
Halo
Damn it,
fans.
Spencer.
I did.
Pass him the damn
I
sniper
did,
rifle.
I passed
Oh, okay. I didn't see it. I'm sorry.
Received it, yeah.
Yelling at
All right, well, let me snipe some Halo facts for you. We're going to talk about what multiplayer was like on Halo back in the day. So, according to the Wikipedia, the first Halo had 5 competitive multiplayer modes. This is extrinsic to the co-op, all of which can be customized for between 2 and 16 players. Up to 4 players may split screen on one Xbox, and further players can join using a system link feature that allows up to 4 Xbox consoles to be connected together into a local area network, otherwise known as LAN. And because this was released before bots were introduced into the series, I don't even know if there were ever bots in Halo. But there were no bots in the original Halo, and it was released before Xbox Live. So this was the first way that you could play multiplayer competitive Halo. Did you guys ever experience this? Or was it before your time a little bit?
No, I never played LAN, but I experienced a lot of the multiplayer though when it came out. You know, or maybe not in 2001, but you know, before Halo 2 came out, definitely. It was like I would go over to I remember going over to friends' houses, and I had one friend in particular who like he had an Xbox. I had an Xbox too, but I didn't get this game. He had an Xbox, and his parents were divorced, so like they would both try to like outdo each other with like buying him stuff, you know. So like, you know what? So it's kind of awesome to go over there because they would buy him like all these like M-rated games and stuff. So like, hell yeah, we got to play Halo and like GTA and stuff. So I would go over there, and yeah, we would. I remember playing the multiplayer. That's probably the first thing I played on this game was the multiplayer for the first time, and just not, you know, coming from like the only thing I've played similar before that was GoldenEye. You know, kind of coming to like this into this newer experience and just having like all these there's like vehicles you can drive, and like I remember like I forgot which what the level's called, but it's a level where it's like an open field and there's like 2 bases on each side. Do you know what that one is, Teddy?
Maybe
It's like
Valhalla. I'm not sure.
maybe, but I remember that level specifically being like one of the earliest ones I played on multiplayer, and yeah, there was just nothing like it at the time for me.
I skipped over this game almost entirely, but I played Halo 2 and LAN for sure. We set it up with our friends. We do it I think it was every Sunday. So we had 4v4, just us in the living room, and then my other friends in the bedroom. And my God, it was freaking. It was like if you were gonna have like a Microsoft Xbox commercial. That's what it would be, because we had like soda, which I'm sure was Mountain Dew, and then we had pizza from Domino's, and we were just like partying. It was so much
man,
fun.
Domino's.
We were in high school
Yeah.
as well. We could afford.
No, that definitely does sound like the like Xbox. I've talked about this before. I forgot on one episode, but like the Xbox Live type. You know, like they had a disc. I think me and Spencer talked about this without Teddy one time on an episode. They had a disc, where you put it in your Xbox, and then it would explain what like multiplayer was. Like online multiplayer or like something like that. And I remember just being like, whoa, Kingslayer 85, we sniped you, Kingslayer 85. And it would be like a guy like in his room drinking a soda or something. And yeah, just being like, you know, even then, you know, like LAN was a new idea for consoles too, really. I don't know if was there a console before the Xbox that really took advantage of that you could think of? I mean, like I know the Dreamcast went online, but I don't know if it had like LAN capabilities.
It was never. It was never a thing. Like they may have done it before that, but it was never like a thing that people did.
Yeah.
Because PlayStation 2 even was still, you needed like a second controller adapter to even play 4-player,
Yeah.
let alone connecting via LAN. I think GTA might have had some capabilities.
honestly, I think GameCube had LAN support and also had like one game that went online, but it's the fucking GameCube. Nobody used.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
people bragging about it, like you can play Mario Kart with 16 people. or
Yeah,
something.
Double
Like,
Dash. You could play
Okay.
LAN, and then I think they had an online adapter, and the only game to ever use it on GameCube was like Phantasy Star Online or
Yeah.
something. It's like, what the fuck was the point?
Yeah, you could
But-
tell that with Halo that Microsoft had an interest in online multiplayer or just multiplayer in general, but clearly
Yeah, multiplayer in general.
going online was their next step. But yeah, you could see that was their emphasis of I think with Halo and their emphasis on like the LAN parties and stuff, they really wanted to create the bro gamer, which
Brony.
which they totally did, which power to them. It was we needed that, so that's great.
Yeah, I mean, just that element alone almost single-handedly like created the Xbox 360
Yeah.
ecosystem,
They
you
should
know.
have called the Xbox dude.
Basically, I mean, like, because like I'm trying to think of like what else on Xbox was notable. I'm thinking like maybe like Fable and Forza. Those are both on Xbox, and those carried over. But like, yeah, the identity from the first two Halo games on the original Xbox basically created the entire ecosystem moving forward.
Yeah.
Which it's kind of nuts.
Yeah. And
All right,
look where they've
my
come.
fact is, oh,
That's the only thing I had to say. Just
Yeah.
look what they've turned into now. Like I don't think there's
They-
anything nearly as remarkable as what they did back then.
no, we talked about this, me and Spencer, on our Road to Xbox video we did before, and just like how like they stumble after the 360 with like the Xbox One and stuff, and they're doing okay now, but it's just like every generation they have like a different identity,
Yeah.
But this was definitely their identity for a while, for the 360's lifespan. So
And I guess I don't mean just from like Halo Combat Evolved, but I just mean of that era of like the Halo trilogy era when you were playing, LAN parties or competitive Xbox Live. Anyways,
I don't.
that's-
I think history will. I don't know about smile upon it, but we'll look back at Game Pass as a big deal.
No, it will. It will. I think the Xbox One generation is going to be the only big blemish they have, but God, is it a big one? It's just.
I don't know if
So-
it's that big of one. It's just like they made one
Wii U.
one
It's-
big
it's a
mistake. Yeah,
hiccup
Wii
interim.
U. It's not as bad as the Wii U. The Wii U is
No.
is a disaster.
I never said it was as bad as the Wii.
Although I did.
Let's be honest.
But the Xbox
the
One,
Wii U thrower. Here's the tablet. Go
I
ahead.
think the Xbox One will be known as just like a step back. Like they Xbox 360 was a huge step forward. Xbox One just like pulled them back a little bit. They lost some ground, and they kind of just gave it over to Sony, possibly because of the DRM. But I think it's more than that. And then
That makes it worse than a Wii U because the Wii U at least transitioned Nintendo into a Switch, whereas Xbox One is what? It is just a like kind of a dead air.
They were able to salvage it by the end with the idea of Game Pass and stuff. Like Xbox
Yeah.
One was decent at the end of its lifetime span. It was just the
Sure.
beginning was.
and now
Not
at this
good.
point, Xbox might be, aside from I guess the Switch too, but Xbox might be the only major console you need. Which
think
is
so.
How they
I
position
agree with
it.
that.
So
Well,
they-
yeah, well,
yeah.
and you don't even need them anymore. That's the beautiful thing about Xbox now is that
Yeah,
like
it's just a
they're
brand.
the biggest game studio in the industry, and you don't even need to buy their console.
right. They changed things quite a bit with Game Pass to the point that it's like I think that's a really major landmark. Probably the
Right.
only major landmark since the 360. that they-
That'd be interesting to talk about the evolution of Xbox at some point.
yeah. Sorry.
Back to Halo. No, we're good. We're
Go
good.
ahead, sorry.
We have to talk about Xbox if we're talking about Halo, right? My fun fact is not something we can really go in depth with, but it was something that I found to be funny. Was that the team at Bungie hated the fact that Microsoft added the title Combat Evolved after Halo. They said in an interview that they hated the title, and it's like giving Metal Gear Solid the name Sneaking Rediscovered. So,
I mean,
but
technically, Metal Gear Solid
but-
did have a thing like that.
Yeah. But still, it was just like they didn't like it because Microsoft basically tacked that on just to give them like basically just to have them compete with like military shooters to be like, hey, this is a shooting game, you know? Because you just I guess if they were afraid of it, if it just said Halo, nobody would know what the hell it was, you know? So
That's true.
um,
Ironically,
kind of funny.
nobody remembers that it was called Combat Evolved. Everyone just refers to it as Halo.
no,
Even
Halo-
through this
Halo
episode,
1.
I had to be like, "This is Combat Evolved, right?"
yeah, Halo 1. And that's what we all know it as.
And annoyingly, when you pull it up in the stupid Master Chief collection, it says Halo CE Anniversary. Like if I'm like trying to find just Halo 1, and I'm like CE Anniversary. What is that? It's the only one that makes
Yeah.
sense, but it's stupid.
Yeah, they're
wasn't-
really
wasn't-
if
Wasn't Metal Gear Solid called Tactical Espionage Action or something like that?
it was no, yeah, but I don't think it was like, was that the actual title or was that just like in the
It was on the logo.
on the cover?
Yeah.
I don't know if it was like actually the title of the game though, you know.
Well, they must have really liked T.
Yeah. T. Metal Gear Solid, the T edition.
I forgot what I was going to say now. I was going
Oh,
to
I'm
say
sorry.
something. Oh yeah, if they remaster Halo 1 again, they are coming dangerously close to like a Kingdom Hearts name because they have because it would be like Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary Remastered
343.
something.
Redux 2.2, yeah, 3.3.
Yeah, just something like that. 117 edition. You know, it's just like
Yeah, the 343 because
Jesus.
it's the studio that would inevitably do it, that would butcher it. But yeah.
Oh my God, would they butcher it? Jesus.
well, technically that's not. They did this. They did the Anniversary edition, but they didn't change
yeah,
much.
But
though.
yeah, they,
When I think about the
wisely.
343 impact on a Halo game, it's not good.
We're not gonna. Okay, I just want to make it clear that we are recording this episode before doing. We're not even, technically we're not even in Halo month yet, so we haven't done the live game talk yet. Me and Teddy got some things to say about 343. We got some things. So we'll save it. We'll save it for that episode. So if you're listening to this episode, go listen to the live game talk.
Time
Well,
travelers.
Okay, I guess listen to that. But I guess my only thing is, do you blame Halo 343 or do you blame Microsoft? I guess would be my question, but I don't know. So I
Little of both. We'll talk. We'll have a conversation about it at some point in the past.
okay. Okay.
But no, but you know what? But honestly though, I could see them because I don't. I mean, okay, I like Infinite for the most part, but I could see them taking that step and like remaking this game, right? So. Yeah, it would have a stupid fucking title probably. Who knows? All right.
Well, okay, which title's worse? That or the Square Enix like RPG titles? I know it's Kingdom Hearts
Oh.
is Square Enix, but like like your
Oh,
Infinite,
you're talking about the
Undiscovery.
fucking various day life.
Yeah,
Yeah, those.
those the JRPGs.
I honestly think that they would just call it Halo if they did it. If
You think they could just call
because
Halo.
like they did
maybe
Doom and they did like they that's a new thing now.
No,
it's
no,
just
no.
to like restart.
they would
a
call it
series.
Halo 1. It'd be Halo 1.
They might do that, but I think it would either be Halo or Halo 1, and they would just say
They
like,
just drop a letter.
Hal. Ooh.
Halo or Hal, yeah.
No, the L. Halo.
Halo.
Hey,
Halo.
We have to find Halo.
Halo.
hey, it's gonna explode! Quick!
That would be great.
All right, so we are going to start our map out of Halo Combat Evolved, and just to be clear, we did all play the Anniversary Edition included on the Master Chief Collection, which is probably the easiest way to get your hands on this game now. So that's the version we will be talking about throughout this episode. Not too much has changed though, but we can talk about some of the changes as we go along, and all that fun stuff. I just wanted to add, by the way, because I don't know if we'll ever do the Halo sequels. Maybe down the road, we'll see. But I just wanted to add that I was checking my stats last night, and I've played 148 hours of that damn collection. So, yeah, a lot of Halo.
Well done.
My
many more
combat has
achievements
been
do you have?
evolved. Oh, dude, there's like 700 of those fucking things, and I'm at like 140 something. There's too many achievements. That's,
900 hours to go.
oh, Jesus, I couldn't imagine going for full achievements for that game. All right, just set the stage. I'll set the stage. Let's see, where does the story pick up? Where's it at? I had it here, and now it's gone. Okay, here it is. We are starting Halo Combat Evolved at the Pillar of Autumn.
Oh shit. Okay.
Oh shit. Oh fuck. And then we are using the Halopedia for some of this information here. Having escaped the destruction of Reach, the Pillar of Autumn has arrived at a strange object. Unfortunately, the Covenant, who are here as well, attack the ship, and Master Chief is he's woken up from cryo sleep, and that's where we begin the game. So. Maybe. Are we all there?
Yeah. Hold on. I'm.
Yeah. I was looking for a section where like, but I guess you were just summarizing it. Yeah, this is
I was
a
just summarizing.
classic Halo entry. Exploding ship. Seeing like your comrades like, well, I think what I really like from this stage, and it's going to be a theme in some of the other ones, is like pacing, how like they slowly insert like the aliens, and like they, there's like the looming threat. Like this game almost feels like kind of like a sci-fi horror at points, and I think this is the start of it.
Oh, it definitely does. This entire, I think this first game especially feels very similar to like something like I don't know, like a Ridley Scott movie or something. Like it feels very similar in like that nature to me, like the narrative and presentation. So yeah,
No, it was actually literally was inspired by Alien.
And wasn't everything? I hear that all the damn time. Like all the, like
I
every
was
piece of
inspired by
sci-fi.
Alien.
It's a great movie.
Yeah, every piece of sci-fi I ever experienced nowadays is like, oh yeah, we were inspired by Alien. And I'm like, weren't we all, man?
It's a freaking awesome movie.
Oh, it's great. It's fucking. I know, like Alien's one of my favorite movies. But yeah, I'm just saying, like, I always hear that though,
Yeah. Inspired by the best.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the sequence at the beginning of just being woken up from cryo sleep, not really knowing what's happening. There's not like a long cutscene being like, we escaped from the planet Reach, and then the Covenant or attack. It's just kind of like you just kind of wake up, and then it's like, hey, we got to calibrate your suit. And it's like, oh shit, fucking aliens are here.
So, not a long cutscene, but a long tutorial. And I found that that was my first like drop in of like, oh yeah, first person shooters didn't exist in this way on consoles before. Oh yeah, like nowadays it's like ridiculous. Like look up, down, left, or sorry,
Yeah.
right?
Do you want us to invert the controls for you? It's like, no, gross, get out of here.
Yeah, and I'm just like I was furious, and then I was like, wait a minute, no, like the most that we've had was GoldenEye before this. It was like GoldenEye and Perfect Dark. Those were the revolutionary first-person shooters. They don't control anything like this. Like this is incredible. Like this is wild. So yeah, it was an interesting trip down memory lane that people actually needed this to start this game.
Yeah, most console shooters at that time had like auto lock-on aim, or like you didn't really need to like look in all directions. You gotta have to just kind of look left and right for the most part. So yeah. I could imagine this game being a lot of people's first experiences to using like dual stick controls for like, for playing a game, which again, crazy because like every game uses that now, like every game on the damn earth. Like I don't know how many times I got sick of games during like the 360 generation. Just everything was a first person game, but it's just back then, like it'd been weird. Like, you probably only played fucking Gex or something. You didn't know how you do this.
I'm trying to think like what's so different between say GoldenEye and Halo. Like, I mean, granted, there's no like jumping really in GoldenEye, Or maybe there is actually. I don't know. But
Wasn't GoldenEye
honestly,
wasn't
go ahead.
GoldenEye controlled by the C buttons? Like your forward, backward, left, right movement?
No, GoldenEye is all the analog stick, but you don't actually need to aim at the enemy. In GoldenEye, using the stick, moving forward and back moves you
Right.
forward and back. Left and right lets you kind of move.
And then
But
the
you don't have
the
to
C
actually-
button's aimed a little bit, right?
Yeah, but you don't need to do that though, because the game auto locks. So whenever
Right.
so like in GoldenEye, if you're looking at the general vicinity of an enemy and you fire, it'll automatically do it for you. And this game is not going to do that.
But with the joystick, it wasn't a strafe, right? It was like actually
No.
turning. Yeah, so like
Yeah, it was actually turning.
it had nothing to like with it.
I don't know about that. I think it was both. I think it's you turning and you're just like you're not moving your gun. The gun moves with you. Your
Right,
arm is
but-
always in a fixed position.
But strafing means that if you hit left, you literally walk left. You walk on
Okay,
that
so this is-
plane. Whereas
I'm trying to think of, like how am I even playing it?
In-
So when I'm playing Halo, it's a dual analog experience.
yeah,
Like left, right. I'm moving left, right, but then I'm also moving the gun
right.
with the right.
Your
trigger.
right
Yeah.
stick
Yeah.
aims or turns you like your actual view. Whereas GoldenEye
Right.
was not a strafing thing. It was like literally like you just move that way, like almost like a third person,
Yeah.
but in first. Yeah, just like
Yeah.
Yeah, you were like steering James Bond almost in that game.
yeah, yeah, like the Halo. Yeah,
Driving
almost like a
James
car.
Bond.
The James Bond. Which when you when you think about like how revolutionary GoldenEye was, like it was like crazy, and now you could never even imagine playing a first-person shooter that way. Like that would be
Oh, dude.
ridiculous. It would be absurd.
Yeah, I mean, like even recently, I went back last year. I went back and played through that GoldenEye version they put out on Xbox, and you know what they did? They added dual stick controls because that's what's in that.
Right.
That's the thing now, you know.
Yeah, I was like, why would you play James Bond? They're like, well, it plays like every other first-person shooter now, and I was like, well, then just play every other first-person shooter. Like, why would you? There's really no
Oh,
point
that's cool.
for James Bond to exist at this point. Like,
Yeah, it's still
right.
fun to go back and play the missions, but you know, it's yeah, but yeah, this would have been like a lot of people's first time playing a game like this, which again is nuts, and you could see the influence because literally every game that came out that generation that was a shooter did this, you know.
Although
Well,
they
and that
did
guy-
change, and Halo eventually adapted to the changes.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, dude, absolutely. Well, by time 343 took over, Halo basically played like Call of Duty.
Yeah.
So
Well, I remember when
Yeah.
this game came out, like for years after it, maybe like for the next 10 years, it was nothing but Halo killer. It was like this new first person shooter is the Halo killer. It was just everyone's trying to by making
shut
the
up!
same
You're
game as Halo.
Hayes. Get out of here.
Yeah.
We got it, guys. Time Splitters 2. Get fuck off.
I think Resident Evil 4 probably gave it the biggest run for its money.
Maybe. That kind of revolutionized things in its own way, though. That's like what inspired Gears was Resident Evil 4. So
And I don't
that kinda,
mean as, like-
split the.
You know, as a like killing Halo, but changing the game, like the way that.
Oh yeah, no,
shooters-
definitely. That's true. So, cool. Well, we do awaken on the Pillar of Autumn, and immediately shit hits the fan, and aliens are boarding the ship, and you have to kind of sneak around and find the captain, and then give you a gun, and you can shoot some dudes. Yay! So, fun first level. I like the I don't know, just the fun of the aliens attacking and then the chaos. There are some areas where it's you can fight the Covenant, but it's easier to just kind of let the other guys fight them and you just run.
Can I just say real
Kind of
quick,
cool.
talking about gunplay, it needed work in Halo. The gunplay was not perfect. I think even just in Halo 2, it gets so much better. The main gun that you have, it has no kick. It feels pretty bad to shoot.
Assault rifle.
I think that when they split it up as the DMR and then whatever it was in Halo 2, the other one that actually had kickback.
The combat rifle, the combat gun or something, or what was it?
Battle rifle.
Battle rifle.
Wasn't the DMR the battle rifle? The battle rifle,
Oh.
whatever it was.
Well, in Halo 2, it's battle rifle, assault rifle is your loadout most of the time.
I can't remember the names of which one, but the one that's two-handed versus the one that's one-handed. The one-handed one had more of a kick to it, so you had to monitor how you shot. This one, it's just like hold down the R and it goes, brrr, which is not a great feel, I think, for a first-person shooter. So that was kind of jarring because I was more of a Halo 2 guy. So I really missed the battle rifle and whatever the other one was. I missed that combo a lot.
There was no battle rifle in this game that I saw anyway.
No. Doesn't exist yet. But
They only
that your
had- the
pistol
best
though.
options were like, the pistol was fire.
Yeah,
Especially in
Good
these
Lord.
early stages.
Good lord.
why do you even need a sniper rifle? Honestly, the pistol is
Yeah,
like
the pistol
serves the
is.
same thing. But
The
way
pistol
I'm,
is
better.
I'm sitting here
way
single player
over.
taking out hunters with a pistol and
Yeah.
like
Oh,
grenades.
it's way
amazing.
overpowered. You can easily land fucking headshots with that thing. It's so easy to do with that pistol. And my lizard brain has played so many shooters now that I'm so used to like aiming down a scope, and shooting, that it feels weird not being able to do that for a lot of guns in this game.
Yeah, historically,
it's-
it's like aim down sight wasn't really a thing for Halo, and wasn't. I mean, I don't think it was a thing. It wasn't a thing for GoldenEye, so it wasn't really a console experience. Aim down sight. It should have been in games by now on PC, I would think.
Yeah,
I would disagree
think
with
it
the
was-
GoldenEye though, because I remember it just having such a massive loadout of weapons you could use. I can't see how they're.
Yeah, but we're talking just-
Just the traditional
Yeah,
aim down
no,
sight
no,
of every
but, like-
gun, like having like a
Yeah,
a zoom
every
mode
gun,
where you
like in
can,
a modern, shooter.
guess
every
GoldenEye
gun
had,
lets
like,
you
a
kind of look
laser-
down the thing.
pointer, and that was probably the extent.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Well,
guess
aim down
with
sight is
that.
very specific to you, like choosing to go like be slower and sacrificing mobility for the ability to aim a little bit better, which they didn't really do that on consoles until they didn't even do it in Halo 2. Did they? I don't think
No.
they did it. They didn't do it by Halo 3, probably. Did they? I don't remember. I'm old.
There's a signature slowdown
Yeah.
that has to happen. I mean, Call of Duty was allowing you
Yeah.
to hold the weapon up to your face.
Right. That's that's aim down sight.
but your
So-
mobility, yeah. So that's what we're talking about. And when you do that, you lose mobility a little bit.
Oh, I see
But
what
you
you're
get to aim. Yeah. So like games didn't. It's like this game didn't do that. I don't know the history of military games, but I have to say it's probably either Call of Duty or Medal of Honor on PC. One of those probably
yeah.
introduced that. So,
yeah.
but I could be wrong. Again, I don't
Please
really
correct
know
us.
the history
And-
of
and
military
now-
games.
for that.
And now Halo does it, so don't worry.
Oh yeah, like I said, now Halo is just Call of Duty.
Yeah,
but
they've
in
given
space.
up on that. Which I thought it made it unique that they didn't have it.
Oh
Um,
yeah. It always gave it its own feel.
But
Yeah.
and they took that away.
Yeah.
All the good things.
But,
go
I
away.
mean, well, I guess you're not slowing down, but you are able to hold the gun up to your face. Like you can switch for pistol, like zoom or not zoom.
yeah. Well, the zoom is kind of aim down sights, but that's more of like a sniper staple. It's really
Sure.
just the idea of any gun that you have a mode where you can just pull it up to try to aim better, and theoretically it makes the reticle smaller as well.
Which I think is kind of awesome in Halo that you could be like jumping for joy and like zooming with your sniper. Actually, can you even zoom with the sniper rifle? Yeah, no, I think you can.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
You can do crazy stunts. Like this is a stunt game, you know?
We'll get to that.
man.
We'll get to that.
So yeah, this first level, I don't know how much anything else you guys want to bring up about it. It's not too notable. It has so there is an issue that I'm going to talk about especially in this first game, and I don't think it's anybody's fault because of just the time and the hardware. But corridors in this game look very similar a lot of the time. It's hard to differentiate corridors.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so and again, I think that just comes with the scope they were going for, and maybe the limitations or something. I have no clue, but
Well,
yeah, it's
I have I told you at the beginning I have a lot to say on this. I think there's a genius to this game. And the genius of it is a lot of this stuff isn't new, but a lot of it is new to console gamers. So I was playing this and I was like, this is super Quake. Like this is very very like Unreal Tournament, Quake, these corridors, like they look the same, and you just go down it. And the only to console gamers, they're probably like their hair is up and they're like, whoa, like alien spaceship, holy shit. And I'm like, oh my god, this is so like I know exactly where they got this idea from. And the level design is actually really poor in a lot of ways, because what they clearly did was they played red light, green light. So every door is a red light except for the one that has a green light. So you know that's the one they're going to go to. And then they're like, there's not actually like a natural level design to it. It's literally just shove you down a corridor, and whatever the green light is, go through that door. Later on in future levels, they'll get even worse and put little arrows on the ground. So
yeah, or like give you an objective marker. Like they'll be like, "Hey, you need to go over there."
I don't mind the objective markers, because in my head it's like you could almost see it as a augmented reality of Cortana being like, "Here you go." But to have arrows on the ground, that is bad.
They weren't. They don't always. It's not always just follow the directions. And we'll get to that when the arrows are on the ground. For now, there is no map. There's only a UAV radar to tell you if enemies are nearby, which is a signifier of you're going in the right direction.
Right. If there's red dots, you're good.
Yeah. So, and I think one trend you start to see is that it feels like I've been here before. I feel like I've seen this part of the ship before. Am I going the right way? And because there's no map, you just don't know. So that is a problem that starts to benefit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think we all have the same
it starts in this level where I'm like, yeah. But like this level, I think it's good to bring it up for this level, because this is the first level, and it has some of that issue where like you can be exploring around. And you're like, have I been here? I don't know. Have I been in this? No.
Right.
Yeah. So, but moving on, so we can get to the other levels. We do finally find an escape pod, and we escape onto the surface of where? Halo.
Halo.
So, moving on to Halo. So yeah, this is our first the Pillar Bottom's a fun little corridor, like tutorial type stage. This is our first real taste of the game. We are on Halo in the open environment. It is cool to sort of. I always remember landing, and you land, you get out, it's like grassy and stuff. And then I always love the effect, even though it's so easy to like understand. It's just a background image, but games. They're immersive. It's just like looking up and seeing the ring wrap around the entire thing, just sort of, it's such a cool effect, it's such a cool thing. Yeah. So like even now, like I understand, like it's just a fucking picture in the background, but like it looks cool.
I learned something about Google Cloud Gaming here, because this game is like 100 freaking gigs. So I didn't want to download it. I was playing through Game Pass streaming. So when the first level looked fine, but when I got to this level, the whole thing looked grainy. I'm like, what the hell? Like this is supposed to be, this is 100 gigs and it's a beautiful freaking game. So it's actually rendering the game to look worse when you're playing through the freaking cloud streaming on the Game Pass. I was like, oh no, I can't do that. So I sadly had to like temporarily delete a couple of my bigger games, like the Resident Evil 4 remake and a couple other ones. Just to make sure I got the full experience, because ain't no way I'm playing through freaking Halo, with ugly ass graphics of like, this beautiful background. When you're trying to make a stage look beautiful and then you render it down, it looks so bad. It looks really freaking bad. It just juts how bad it looks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some games work for the Xbox Cloud Gaming, and some games just don't.
This ain't one. This is not one of them.
Yeah, like you have to have really fast internet for some of these games. This would definitely be one of them. Just playing the game in general. It wasn't this one, but I remember I was playing through Halo 2 Anniversary, and I was playing. I was out one day and I had like my little Razer Kishi controller for my phone, and I was like, I'll play a little bit of Halo 2. It's garbage. It was just like the rendering of the lag was awful, and I was like, yeah, I can't do this on here. Nope. But yeah, I could easily see that. All right, so you do land on Halo, and you are looking for the other survivors of the Pillar of Autumn. So that's sort of your mission for this one. A lot of notable things here. We haven't really talked about the characters in this game. You are playing as Master Chief, and you have an AI companion named Cortana. And yeah, so there's the characters. There you go. Congratulations, you learned everything. And, I mean, we'll do some other characters later, but this game isn't really that narrative heavy. But yeah, so you're looking for the other UNFC members, and this is the first level where you get the Warthog, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Spencer has feelings. Spencer has feelings.
I have a lot of feelings about this level. For the
Okay.
for the positive, in the level prior, it was corridors, which was interesting, and now they opened it completely up to this huge open map, beautiful vistas. Really took advantage of the Xbox hardware. Gorgeous. It was like going from. It was really like a night and day experience. It was wow. Like what a real introduction to Halo. Like what a cool experience. So major.
It
props.
kind of, it kind of feels like they were like, look, the first level was like, look, this is what every shooter does. You're in the hallway and you're shooting dudes. Bam, and
Yeah.
now you're outside.
Yeah. Whoa. It introduced vehicles. Whoa, that's pretty neat. Like you can actually, they're big enough. These worlds are big enough that you'll need a vehicle to travel across it. I think the Warthog controls like absolute dog shit. Like I don't know who designed this vehicle. It controls so poorly. It's the most frustrating thing I've ever in a first person shooter. Like how? Who play
It
tested
becomes
that?
third person because it's not your typical behind the wheel kind of thing.
Yeah. I despise driving the Warthog. I think it's terrible. And I think this may have been too big. The map may have actually been too big for their own good on this level. Because I know I got lost a little bit, and the game, it's like they expected you to know how they wanted you to play the game without telling you. So it's like you have the Warthog, and then at one point I got off of it so I could go fight baddies. And then I started to explore, and then I walked a little bit further. Before I realized it, I'd completely abandoned the Warthog. It was like a mile behind me, and I was already in this new area. And then they're like, okay, the next thing is like 20 miles away. And I just started walking. I didn't really realize like how far away it was. And then I was like, oh, they want me to get the Warthog and drive back over. So then I had to go oh my God.
And they're not even giving you that crosshair a lot of the times.
No.
When Alex and I played in Tennessee, we stayed up that one night. We got stuck on this mission.
Yes.
We kind of,
But-
I wouldn't say we rage quit, but we were like, okay, well, we're not
Yeah,
making progress.
but to be fair, we were also playing on a tiny ass TV because remember the TV was very small. Tennessee,
That is
so
true.
we're playing split screen on that thing, so that could have also been the issue because they do put like lights in a way to like kind of guide you a little bit, like hey,
Red ones,
I
yeah.
mean, go this way, yeah. But yeah, no, it is easy to get turned around in this area for sure.
A simple solution would have been near the drop ships to have extra Warthogs. That would have been a way to make you go, oh, you know what? I'm like in this new area. I could probably use this Warthog to get where I want. And they would be like encouraging you to pick that. But yeah, this level might have just been too big for what they were ready
I
for.
kind of like it though because it isn't very handholdy, and I feel like that was something that Xbox especially got very bad with during the 360 generation of being way too handholdy, being like, okay, here's markers, I think of like Fable, they were like, here's a literal line telling you where to go.
Well,
Yeah.
I think there's
So-
a difference between handholdy and proper level design.
No, that's true. That's true.
Mhm.
So, I kind of do just enjoy the openness though.
There's two extremes because there's a happy medium between the two. This is one extreme, and then the other
Well,
extreme is
they
they summon a
they
Warthog.
do this. They do this idea a little better later, I think, too. So, maybe this was just one of the early levels. I don't know.
Yeah, this game gets better by the second half, I think.
Yeah. Who am I? Bungie?
Really? That'll be interesting. I thought the opposite. But
Okay.
we'll talk about it.
Other than that, I mean, not too much happens in this level, but you do get introduced. I mean, you saw them on the Pillar of Autumn, but you were kind of frantically trying to escape, so you didn't really get the chance to really learn them. So you do get to see a lot more of the enemies on this level. So you get to kind of see the classes. Like, you have the grunts, which are the little dudes that scream and run around. And then you have the jackals, which have the shields. You have the elites, which are the big dudes. And then we don't see the hunters yet, right? So we can't really talk about them yet. But yeah, you do get kind of to learn the intricacies of the different enemy classes of the Covenant and how they work, and how they can be tricky if they all kind of gang up on you and you're trying to figure out how to take each one down in succession. They can easily swarm you.
There was one annoying thing about playing this game in single player, especially for these Warthog segments, because trying to get your guy to join you in the turret, or at least decide, because first I was like, I want you to drive. I don't want to drive this thing. So I kicked him off the turret, and I went to the turret. He just starts running away. He's like my only AI guy they gave me. I'm like, what the hell? So I respawn the checkpoint. He's on the turret. I'm like, I forget what I did. I did something else. I tried to get in the driver's seat, and he gets in the passenger seat. Why did you get in the passenger seat? You're firing a fucking assault rifle from the passenger seat. I need you in the turret. I screwed up. If you're playing this game, just drive. Just drive. If you're doing single player,
I didn't know that you could have them drive.
you can't.
Oh, okay.
You can.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
I wish, but you can't.
Trust me, even in the later games when you can have them drive, I wouldn't recommend it because the AI is never good at it. So I'm like, hey, we need to take down this giant tank, and he's like running into a wall. I'm like, great.
That's fine if AI can't even drive your vehicles.
Yeah.
But something cool that this game does is that with this level especially is that the idea of the drop ships are introduced, which will deliver enemies to the battlefield, which is kind of cool. I don't remember a lot of shooters even doing that idea at the time either, of like a big ship flying in and dropping a bunch of enemies. Usually they just kind of pop up,
Mhm.
So neat, cool. The Warthog section, get to drive it. Other than that, I got nothing else to say about this level. Yes.
Nope.
That's Halo.
Okay, let's move on to probably, I wouldn't say one of the best levels, but one of the more memorable levels is the Truth and Reconciliation. Captain Keyes has been taken a prisoner on an alien ship, and you have to do almost like a stealth level at the beginning to get up to a gravity lift to get onto the ship and rescue Keyes and his crew. Very cool level. This is the introduction of the sniper rifle. First time we get to sniper rifles in this level. A lot of enemies on turrets in this stage. This level kind of, you don't have to, but it kind of influences you to take more of a stealthy approach through it. Also, like the level design of like being on like the side of this like mountain pass almost. So there's a lot of like areas where it's like a drop next to you and stuff. And yeah, you get to board a Covenant ship, which I always thought the Covenant like weapons and ships and stuff have neat designs. So it's cool to get to do that.
But this is
you
a
also-
mix, right? It's part outside and part in the ship.
Yeah, so you start with like the stealthy area where you get the sniper rifle and you have to sneak to the gravity lift, and then you go up the gravity lift onto the ship, and then you rescue Keyes and his crew. So it's like half outside, half on the ship.
And they were like contained behind these glass containers, right? And then you kind of like free all them, and then you just storm out.
Yeah.
That's always satisfying when you just get a bunch of your guys, and then like you just kind of hoorah like outside.
Hoorah! This is the first introduction of the hunter, I believe. I believe you have to fight a hunter when you get to the gravity lift, right? I think so.
When you get to the gravity lift, when you first get on, there's invisible elites with swords. They come
Maybe
out
that's
of
what they
all
got.
4 doors.
Mhm.
That was when I
But-
started to just get pummeled. And I had to keep
This
restarting.
level, I think, introduces an issue I'm going to talk about it introduces an issue I'm going to talk about for the entirety of the game. For some reason, when 343 made the anniversary edition, they decided to up the lighting 110% on every goddamn level. And some of the levels that are meant to be darker throughout the game, you can see for miles. And this is one of those stages. It's supposed to, in the original, it's supposed to be kind of dark looking, and you're sneaking around, to get up to the gravity lift. And 343 said, "Let's turn on the lights." So
Yeah, well, it
to me,
completely compromises the idea of giving you a flashlight, which they do. I think it's this one.
Oh,
Give you the
I
flashlight
think
and
I
teach you
think
how to
it
use it.
it almost completely compromises the tone of some of the stages, including this
Sure.
one. For me, and look, in 343 had to barely do anything, and they decided to do one thing, and it was turn up the brightness, and they fucked it up.
True.
You didn't have to do that much.
It's like an eerie sci-fi game and completely erase the entire atmosphere that we were going for.
Yeah. Like on this stage, especially, and there's one later on that's more egregious. But if you push the select button and switch between the old graphics and the new graphics, it's fucking night and day. Literally night and day.
That being said, this is my favorite level in the game.
good
This
level.
to me is what Halo is all about. Is like almost a squad, but obviously you're the psycho monster character of the squad. But a squad-based shooter, objective. I like the simple objective. Fighting through the Covenant, killing alien scum, sniping them, doing whatever you have to do to get through them. Whether it's be stealthy, whether it's literally just kill everything. I love this level. This is peak Halo for me.
I had to do some crazy stuff to get through this on heroic. Like when you're getting to that platform area where like those, I think they're like those Pelicans or the enemy flying ships are stationed.
Mhm.
I remember
it's
coming up
it's
there.
like a hangar, yeah.
And you have to hit the button to be able to get like a Pelican or somebody to come in. And there was like crowds of enemies up here, over here. I don't think there were any on the ground, but if you jump to the ground, you take damage from falling. And there was like an invisible sword guy. So I had to do like, I don't even remember how I got through this. I think I just gunned it and then I just ran for cover. But man, these shots to the head, they'll take you down in 3 seconds because the enemy AI, your AI might not be the best, but the enemy AI knows how to hit you. And also, there's health packs. I don't know if they do that in future Halo games. But you have
They
like
do.
health packs to keep your armor. And so I was down to at a checkpoint of 1 health pack and just me. And the problem with playing this on single players, there's no waiting for like, to see if your enemy or your ally makes it. So I just keep getting like 3-hit killed by like squads of enemies, and it's just me. And that's the problem I was having in this level.
They still do health packs in the other games. I feel like that's something that people incorrectly attribute to Halo is the idea of the revitalizing health. Really, in Halo, you only have a shield that goes back up. And this goes for a lot of the Halo games. You only have a shield that'll revitalize. Your health itself is like a set stat, and then you can get health packs. And there's probably a lot of other games that like did introduce like around that time that like did introduce the idea of getting all your health back, but Halo didn't actually do that. But a lot of people are like, "Oh, Halo started that." I was like, "Not really." It's like they had a shield thing,
come on,
like a shield system.
It depends on how you look at health, because as a literally your health is that stat that can go up and down, whereas your shield is recoverable. But if you just look at all as health, then a good chunk of your health is recoverable if you look at it just as a whole.
I guess.
It depends on, and obviously there's little things like obviously the plasma affects your shield more than the bullets, which doesn't really matter until the second half of the game. But like it's kind of semantics. But I wouldn't say they're wrong. I would just say like there's a little more nuance to it.
Yeah. Well, like in Halo, it's like you have a shield, but your enemies usually also have a shield, and that's just part of the game. That's like part of the tactics of the game is that like you want to watch that. And then I think of like other shooters like a Call of Duty where like you get shot 5 times in the face and then you're like, and then you go hide and you heal yourself somehow. You know, makes no fucking. It makes no goddamn
I don't know.
sense.
Call
At
of
least
Duty,
this
the TTK is like nothing
base-
on Call of Duty.
Well, you know, I don't know Call of Duty, but you know, like one of those, there's shooters like that though. You take 5 bullets directly into your body, then you go hide. But like this, like it at least tries to do that, and the enemies are at a fair, you know, the same thing as you. They have the shields as well, so it's, I don't know. I think it just kind of adds to the tactics of the game. For me.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a tactical game by design, I think.
What?
Huh? Maybe go to an earlier segment.
You know, Halo's actually a
What?
tactical game disguised as a FPS.
Ooh.
My Cro-Magnon brain not
So
processing.
We are boarding a Covenant. We are boarding a Covenant ship. We haven't really talked about the Covenant that much. We can just, I'll just say like they're here looking for the ring and they're like religious fucks. But I do want to ask you guys, what do you think about the Covenant weapons and like the designs? Like thoughts, feelings? Do you like them? Do you not like them?
Well, let's talk about the hunters. I think that's because they're introduced here, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I love the hunters, and you know you can't get easy kills on them, but you got to work for them. And they fire these massive freaking things. They'll be chasing you. They're big freaking monkeys, you know, and then they'll just pound you and then like hit you, and you'll go flying. Like I'm like fighting, and they always introduce them in pairs, so you're fighting 2 freaking hunters at once. I'm fighting 2 Donkey Kongs, you know. It's Donkey Kongs with big guns. Man, I love the hunters in ways that I don't know that they've recaptured.
No, and you know you have to try to get behind them. That's their weak spot because they're like the hunters are made up of like a bunch of small snake-like creatures. They're all kind of congealed into one enemy. So it's so like if you look to the back, they have like sort of like a eel-looking things on their back and stuff. Then like that's their weak spot. But God, they are intimidating. I don't know how you took any of those things down on your own on heroic or whatever. Because geez.
Well, they do take damage from the front, but it's about half. I don't know if you're like if you fire a rocket at them, if you fire from the front, it's 2, but if you hit them from the back, it's 1. It's a good like kind of metric.
Yeah. So
I don't know. I don't really like them, to be honest. I'm not that impressed by
I don't like them.
by the Halo enemies, the Covenant. The grunts are funny. That's about it.
The grunts are funny because they will actively run away when they start losing.
Yeah,
And they have dialogue that matches it too.
yeah, they are funny. I just find it kind of blah. Most of the enemies, the hunters stand out, but the other ones, it's kind of like they're just enemies.
Jackals suck. I'm not. Like,
Yeah, jackals are lame. I think the elites are cool. Like the elites look cool. I like their designs and stuff.
I think honestly, one thing that really always put me off of the Covenant was I don't like their weapons. I don't.
Oh yeah, that's something I want to talk about. Is it?
I don't know if
Covenant
it's
weapons.
like an American thing where I'm like I'm like pro America, which is really in this instance like pro humanity. But I always liked bullets, and when they were like you can use plasma guns, I'm like no, I refuse.
I like the implication that you're racist against the Covenant.
Yeah. Hey, I know it's controversial, but I'm gonna take a stand right now. Pro humans. I don't want this Covenant scum around.
I don't believe in the Great Journey. Okay, I know I'm saying it.
I'm not using these Covey guns. Yeah, I said it. But yeah, I just don't like plasma. I don't find it interesting. I know there's a tactical usage for it in Halo 2. They do a better job where you could theoretically use the plasma pistol combined with pretty much any other gun on the right, and that's a way to quickly kill people. But in this game, I'm just not feeling it at all. I don't like.
It's not satisfying. I agree, but it's actually incredibly useful using that plasma pistol. I did not expect it to be so good. And you can basically do the same thing because, like, let's say you have what do they call them? Elites.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let's say you have an elite that's like one of those like golden elites. You know how they do the color swaps and they start having more health and packing more of a punch. You fire that fully charged plasma pistol, which by the way is not reducing charge if you keep it held, which is
That's not something they do in later games. In later games, it depletes the charge. Fire that,
It did for
switch
me.
to assault rifle, boom, done in 5 shots.
Wait. When you say charged, what are you talking about?
You know, with the plasma pistol, you can either do pew pew pew, or you can fully charge it.
Yeah.
So if you fully charge it in later games, it depletes the energy bar for that plasma pistol. Like, because you start at, like, let's say 100, and then you keep it charged, it'll deplete down like 70, 69, 68, as you keep it charged and held.
Oh.
So there's no
okay.
penalty for walking around with a fully charged plasma pistol.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, that's true. But I don't know. I just always found it to be a weapon I would use as a secondary. Like if I literally ran out of ammo on the other guns, I would use.
I
plasma
previously thought that until I was going through this game and I was making no progress with the assault rifle and the regular pistol. And it was clutch in so many situations, even just doing single shots. And by the way, the plasma pistol is kind of homing in a way like your GoldenEye, right? Like where the shots will kind of invert towards the enemies. No, it was taking out grunts in like a couple of hits. It was taking out full elites, do the full charge, a couple of regular shots. When I had no other weapons, I was completely surprised by how good this thing was. It was the best of the Covenant weapons.
Yes.
I really like the Needler. The Needler's cool, and when you get a full loadout and you take them down. But the problem is Needler ammo is like you barely have any shots when you pick it up. So you're really only taking out 1 or 2 guys when you pick up a Needler.
Yeah, I was
It
going
was
to
a
bring
fun
up
little
the Needler.
gimmick, but
Okay, Alex, what do you have to say about the Needler?
Okay. I like the Needler from a design standpoint and from like a concept. Like it homes in and then like explodes. But it seems like to me it always feels like the enemies can use it way better than I can. So I'm on your side, Spencer. I never use the Covenant weapons. I stick with the human guns for the most part. But it's just like I'll use a Covenant weapon if I'm out of shotgun ammo. I have to get something quick. Then I'll grab something. But like if I had to pick one I actually liked, it's the Needler. But then again, I don't use it. I just appreciate it from afar.
even the Needler is better than what is it called? The plasma rifle? Is that the one?
Yeah, just the people.
This one, it sucks. The one that like it's like their assault rifle, and it's like battery powered. It is not that weapon. It is bad.
I don't know. I think the Needler might be the worst weapon I've seen in a first-person shooter. Really.
Why? What's so bad about it?
Well, in Halo, and this isn't necessarily Halo's fault, although I think they made a stylistic choice of having auto aim to a certain degree. I don't blame them because of where first-person shooters were at the time on console. I think people needed help. But I do think as more of a traditionalist, like as more of a PC player, auto aim is disgusting. And I despise it. But I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of a console first-person shooter in 2001, whenever this came out. And it's like I kind of accept it. But a Needler not only has auto aim, but also will fly to the target that your reticle's over. And from a gameplay perspective, oftentimes a character will die with only like half of the needles that you shoot in them. But I literally can't change the target because of the auto aim that's been associated with it, that I end up sticking a grunt with like 30 needles. And I just get outraged that a weapon like that exists. And I just really despise it. I honestly think with the way that the game plays, the Needler might be the worst weapon in first-person shooter history.
I bet the balancing for that has to be really hard to do though, because like
oh yeah,
I'm thinking like if you made it like a one shot, it'd be like the fucking Cerebral Bore or something,
Which I love that weapon. I've talked about that weapon before. I love it.
But it'd be way too overpowered though.
Right.
You'd be like if you just picked it up in a campaign. So like yeah, like it has to be hard to like balance a weapon like that.
Well, the Needler too is like it's really risk reward because you have to be hitting that same target with your full clip. If you don't hit with the full clip, the actual needles do nothing. They don't take down much of your health at all.
Not against grunts.
Who cares about grunts?
Well,
Because
that's
once you take one shot to
who
the
cares
head,
about
and
grunts?
it's,
They're
yay!
an enemy in the game, and that's one of the problems is that they,
Grunts.
so like when you're being charged at, there's a grunt, and then there's whatever the bigger guys are called, whatever they're called. Your controller cannot distinguish between them, and it ends up picking the grunt a lot of the time. So you just wasted like an entire clip on this enemy
Is
that
that
would have died.
proximity? That's because they're closer.
Could be if that's how the gun works. That's terrible. I really don't like
the gun should have had a lock on or switch. Like,
I
you're
think-
locked on to the grunt. You're locked on to the elite. You know.
I think it kind of does, but it's
Well, like one you
sloppy.
can control. That
right. One more
like,
that
that's what I mean.
something more controllable. I just think you should get rid of it. I really don't like it. I think it represents too much of a challenge. I think it's a terrible gun. I think stick with the plasma pistol. I understand the purpose of that one, and I understand the purpose of the other plasma gun. It's not very fun to use, but at least I get it. So those two I get. The Needler is awful.
I hope you know this is going to get clipped as Spencer hates the Needler.
Sure.
No, the Needler is the worst weapon in FPS history.
Absolutely. Like you heard me. You're your first. I don't know anybody that's stood up for the Needler as their favorite. So go ahead if
No,
it is your favorite.
I like the Needler.
I love it.
No, it's never been my favorite, but I do like it from. I'm a big Needler fan.
Needler guy.
Yeah, I'm a Needler guy. Ladies.
I'm a Needler stan. I stand up for the Needler.
I stand for Needlers.
I stand proud for the Needler.
Yeah, fuck that thing.
Well, you do rescue Keys and the rest of the crew, and you guys escape. You know, surprise. So next we'll move on to the Silent Cartographer, which I don't know. I might decide that later if it's my favorite, but this is probably one of my favorite levels in the game. Because I think it does what the first level was aiming. Well, not the first. Sorry, what the second level was aiming to do, but a little better. And it has just a really interesting location and stuff. So the Silent Cartographer, you are going with a crew of UNSC Marines to look for a map that'll lead you to a control room on Halo. And you start out on a beach, and I really like that area. It feels like the beginning of a war movie. You know, where you're kind of storming
Yeah,
a
that's
beach.
such a good intro. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Storming the beach.
and storming the beaches of Halo. And
Photography.
you get, there's a cartography. You get a warthog here, and you had to fight some more hunters and stuff. I just really like this level. I think it's because this is the only level that has this like watery, beachy aesthetic. It's very cool.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with your assessment that it's like the second level, but it's just more concise. It's got gives you less freedom to get lost, and it's more just a big circle. Hey, Halo, and it's just a little more clear.
Yeah, I sorry. You said big circle, and then I just imagined they called the game Big Circle instead of Halo.
Big circle. Geometry
Halo
Evolved.
Big Circle Edition.
Big Circle Geometry Evolved. Yeah, I think we
Did you know
fucked up
that?
with the name
Did you know
Big
that
Circle.
Geometry Evolved was originally a tactics game called Geometry Wars? It's a little trivia.
Different game.
Yeah. Well, did you know that we're finding the cartographer, and this is a map out?
Oh,
you figured out what a
my
map
God.
out is yet?
is
that
this-
in the
Holy
game where you
shit!
set up cartography?
Holy shit, guys! Is this our first time in a map out doing a level where our objective is to get a map? Oh my God!
I feel like it's not.
I think we have to end
but
the show.
I feel like it isn't.
I'm
but-
thinking back. Where did it happen?
Sure,
Bad
it's
show.
happened,
I don't know. Well, I didn't play like The Witcher and stuff, so maybe it happened in there. I don't know. Maybe you had to like find a map show like a werewolf's heart or something, and then go on a date.
Well, Zelda might
I haven't played
count.
it yet.
Your guess as to how The Witcher 3 operates is very funny to me. Find a
Yeah,
map
Is this a game where you like find the map or something?
a map to a werewolf's heart, and then you go on a date. Yeah,
That's what I imagined.
That's pretty much The Witcher 3. You nailed
It's
it.
All I know is
No,
that
but-
it's werewolves and it's really horny. You know, it's a horny werewolf game. That's all I know. So
The map somewhere.
Yeah, I think so. Um, frustrating level, but better than the second. The only reason is I felt like I was pretty much forced to use alien weapons here, which I don't enjoy doing. But my main guns ran out of ammo so quickly that I had to pretty much just use whatever I could find off of the alien bodies. Got me more accustomed to the pistol. I like that. Made me really realize I did not like the Needler. A real struggle was fighting the two. What are they called? Like hunters or the big guys? Is that what they're called? Hunters. Fighting
Yeah,
the two
the
hunters
hunters.
with weapons I was picking up off the ground. Not a very fun experience, but it was interesting. It was frustrating, but interesting.
that's something they correct in the second game, because I understand, like, oh, there's no like why would you have human weapons? You know, you're on Halo, you're gonna have enemy, you know, use their weapons. But so like in Halo 2, they basically just start dropping weapons in like the pods. You know, in Halo 2, they're like, okay, here's like a pod with some guns you can use that aren't alien guns.
Thank God.
So like, you know, that's probably why, because you know they're better, and you know you don't want to fight a hunter with a bunch of alien guns that suck.
Yeah, for sure.
I do. But okay.
Well,
wanna use a
Teddy does.
My favorite weapon.
Teddy goes needler only run.
Healer only run. Oh my god. Incredible. Healer and beatdowns.
Yep. Get good at that B button.
Yeah. Also, a very cool stage because it is outdoors and then also has corridors. It's like half corridor, half outdoor as well. So
Well, and I
Neat.
think it represents.
it really
the-
does feel like you're like,
I think it represents the idea that Halo has of discovery. Of you're in this like beautiful
like-
vista, and then if you dig deep, you do find like an alien hole, which is kind of cool.
Deep.
even though the game
Find the alien
is,
hole.
and in retrospect, like the game is like limited and it's all kind of funnels you in one direction, but it does feel like you are exploring this like weird alien ring, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mhm.
very cool.
Like the outdoors.
Anything else?
I found a
Teddy
skull
likes the
here.
outdoors. The great outdoors. The great outdoors.
Should call that this level, you know? The great Halo, the great outdoors. That's the sequel.
Real quick, this doesn't have to take very long, but did you guys notice the 343 added things where like the little places you could click on and then it starts this weird cutscene?
Oh, those suck.
That was so
Yeah.
confusing and dumb. I was like, why would you?
It was
interrupt that
very
game?
dumb. Dude, yeah, I was like waiting
Yeah.
5 minutes for something to happen in these cutscenes, and I was like, all right, I'll just take the achievement. After a while, I would find him, do it, and then leave. And then like, okay, got it.
They started doing that, and I want to say it was ODST maybe. I know that one has it. I don't know if that was the first one to do it, but they started doing it. So Bungie started that, where you would find like little pieces of story scattered about, which made sense in ODST because you were like in the city called Mombasa, and like you're kind of exploring it and stuff. So makes sense. But like, yeah, I feel like they were like, well, we have to include that. We have to do that.
Probably didn't.
It's a staple now. It's like, well, like there's not much you need to know about the Halo 1 story, so it's like, yeah, well,
It's not much I want to know.
yeah, well, exactly. Well, I feel like the more Halo progresses narratively as a franchise, it has the alien problem where they've done like all the alien prequels now and shit where like I know like how the aliens were created, what they do, and why they're here, and I'm like, well, this first movie isn't as interesting now. I feel like it's the same damn thing as Halo. It's like, well, I mean, Halo's not really that mysterious now. So
Well, it's like the key to horror is mystery. I think that's lost on a lot of people. Is that what makes something scary is that it's unknown. You don't really know about it, and therefore you don't know what to expect, and therefore you're scared. Alien was so good because you don't know shit about anything.
oh yeah,
And that's the
Yeah.
joy of it is you're like, oh my God, it's an alien. I don't know what it's capable of. Oh my God, it like bleeds acid or whatever. That's like, okay, that's weird. And then you're like, I don't know where it's coming from, yada yada. Aliens 2 or aliens, aliens. They still kind of kept the mystery which is the genius of it. I'm not a big a fan of it because I don't really like that style, but it did it revolutionized shooters, like shooter movies. When they broke from that and kept going and really delved into alien lore, it stopped.
Yeah, that's when they ruined it.
It stops being scary. Like it's not. It's just a historical movie at this point. A historical movie of things that haven't happened. So it's just like, it's just dumb. So when you take Halo and you really expand on the, like, I don't really want to know much about the Halo. It's just creepy.
Yeah.
I like that. Like, leave it there. Don't go much further than that. You know.
Story already accomplishes that.
Right.
When I found that first one, because it's in the first room in the first level, the Oracle is already popping up and like communicating weird stuff about some ancient civilization. I'm like, what is this?
Right.
Yeah,
Who
like
is this?
like the Forerunners and stuff. And
I'm not curious about that,
dude.
Like that's
and Halo-
extrinsic to what I'm doing here now. This
Yeah.
has nothing to do with the current level that I'm on.
Exactly. Yep.
343 has a damn boner for the Forerunner bullshit, dude. That's all they fucking care about. They're like, yeah, but aren't the Forerunners so damn interesting? Don't you want to know everything about them? I'm like, no.
What's the Forerunner? The new Warthog?
No, it's like
He's
the
joking.
Forerunners are like the Asians, man. And they're just like, yeah, but the Forerunners, and then they were like, oh god,
The robots?
no, those are the Prometheus. Oh god, okay, we'll talk about spoilers for Spencer. We're gonna talk about Halo 4 at some point, and in the past, and
ruin it. Don't ruin that game.
The Prometheans were the AI life forms created by the Forerunners, which were which basically created civilization and humanity. It's so stupid, but like nobody cares, you know. And it's just like that's how I feel. And again, the more they expand upon this shit, the less I care.
Oh yeah, it's so bad.
Like,
Can't wait to do a
like
video of the 343 problem.
Yeah, there's a video.
there's a lot of them. Like the Halo
one.
trilogy, like.
The Forerunners.
I even thought Halo 3 was a little long in the tooth when they would start talking about like the Great Journey and the prophets and like all that shit. You know, it was like, oh, I guess. I guess.
Can I shoot stuff?
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was like, oh, well, whatever. Can I blow something up? That's what I'm here for.
Right.
Cool stage. Cool stage. Next up, we have. I don't know. I feel pretty confident in saying probably my least favorite stage in the game is the assault on the control room. I
don't remember.
I think this one was just a little boring for me. Exactly. It's a lot of corridors and stuff. It's not really that interesting. Yeah.
Wait, do I remember this? Is this the one?
There is some like outdoorsy. There's snow.
Is this one is a massive?
You
freaking
do
level,
get a tank here, a scorpion tank.
isn't it? This one is so big, and this is where the copy paste element I think comes up. How many times do I have to go over this bridge and then you just litter it with elites and grunts, and then have one on the side where they're also firing at me, and I'm doing this in single player?
And the corridors.
How many
look the
times are you
same.
going to put
Yeah.
me in a little like Coliseum UFC arena, you know, with like an extrinsic area, and I have to go in and out of, you know, corners to get like to find a door that I'm not sure I went through, and then I actually end up going through the same door that I just walked through. This one,
That is
and this is the one I was telling you about, Alex,
That's-
where I played it for. I did a load of laundry in the morning. I was playing before I put it in. I go downstairs, set my timer, 38 minutes, come back up, play this level, go back down, switch to clothes, up 32 minutes, and then grab the clothes. And then I'm still playing it. And that was the morning. I'm still playing it into the afternoon. This is the worst stage in the game. This one I hated. I could not stand it.
Oh yeah. Like it's very copy pasted, and it's not very fun to trek through. This one drags, and
This one,
yeesh.
I
Not-
agree
not,
that
not
this
really a
one
big
drags.
fan of this one.
I agree this one drags. But it's because of this that it's not the worst one. I think there's one later
Mm.
that is the worst.
That drags
one.
and is boring. Okay.
But it's because of this. You'll understand what I mean when you.
I do. I think I know which
okay,
one.
you know what
but
I mean.
I happened to play a co-op, so I
Gotcha. Yeah, you know what I mean. So we'll get to it when we get to it. But yes, I agree. This is really boring. And it's interesting because they introduce like a large scale war, but it just doesn't. I don't think the Xbox hardware could really do it justice. So it doesn't really feel that large scale. You still just feel like a super soldier, and everybody else is pretty worthless. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think they achieved.
You
it.
do. I don't think you don't see them yet, but you do learn about the flood in this level. So, which is it's interesting, and more's revealed later on. But, so we'll talk about the flood later. But you do learn some interesting story bits in this level.
Mhm.
I don't know. Other than that,
This one was
yeah,
crazy because I remember one of those bridge segments, and then you got like 2 layers, and then you can also break through the glass. So like you have like grunts firing at you, you have elites firing at you, you have banshees floating around. There's turrets. Actually, this is one where I first started to discover kind of a stealth element. You notice how like the grunts are like sleeping, and then you can go up behind them and just beat them down.
Mhm.
I really enjoyed doing that and just taking out like 6 grunts. But man, this one I just felt like there was no hiding. And that was really problematic for my tactics. My one energy pack. Halo.
Chief. Yeah, I mean, I got nothing else to say about this stage. Do you guys have anything to say about the stage?
I'm ready to move on to the next one.
No, I really want to talk about the next one.
343 Guilty Spark. Makes you wonder where they got the name,
Guilty pleasure.
Let's talk about, speaking of 343, it's hilarious that this level is called 343 Guilty Spark, and 343 are guilty of fucking massacring the lighting in this stage. Jesus Christ, dude.
Dude, it's
pushing
bad.
the fucking
It's-
Oh god! I was pushing the button to switch between the two versions of the game. It's like during the original version, it's foggy. You can barely see in front of you. It's like scary, and then you push the fucking other button, and there's like lights in the fucking. It's actively like lit up, like not even just like from the environment. It's just like they place lights in the damn level so you can see around you, and it's like. Guys,
there's 2 problems because it's a 2-part level.
Swamps level, spooky swamp
It's
level.
the
What
swamp.
are you doing?
It's the swamp, but it's also subterranean. So the swamp part, I can't decide which one looks worse. They both look bad. The main one, it's like it's the lighting, but the fog is right in front of you, so you actually like can't see anything. So that's 1. 2, I switched back to original, and it's dark as fuck, and I'm turning on the flashlight, and the flashlight's doing nothing in the outdoors. So I can't make any progress outdoors. When you get below, that's where I think you got to play in original mode.
I think the original lighting's best for the stage overall. I think that just
for
the
sure.
original graphics and lighting is great. But 343, like I said, they actively put lights in the environment, which like undermines the entire point of the stage. It's supposed to be like a scary stage. This is spoilers. This is the point in the game where Halo 1 basically becomes a zombie game. So it's supposed to be a little scary, And they were like, yeah, no, fuck that.
Okay, well, not having a ton of experience with Halo 1, I love this stage. This is my other
Yes.
contender for best stage of the game.
For sure.
And I like the way the other one plays more technically. But this one had a moment that just blew my mind. Like it's always a great thing to see a game company mix story and gameplay together and just do it in such a way. I'm thinking BioShock, I'm thinking the Nier games, specifically the first one. Just to take a gameplay element, get you used to it, and then twist it where it actually plays into the story. And I'm thinking of when you're in the facility and you actually run into another human. Up to this point, every time you do that, usually there's like a health pack on the ground. There's ammo, there's guns and stuff, and you're kind of welcomed by that, and you're excited. You get to meet humans. Maybe they'll help you fight. This one aims his gun and shoots you. Wow. I was like blown away by that. Like, oh my God. That's awesome. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, this is where the game basically takes a dip into horror territory, which is very
Yes.
cool. And you sort of get introduced to the idea of they talked about the flood in the last level, but you get to actually meet the flood, and they are this like parasitic zombie organism that takes over and feeds on living things, and there what I also love about this game from this point on is that you'll be introduced to not only the flood but the covenant at the same time, and they will fight each other.
Yes.
It's great. It's great. I love it. There are certain levels where later on it's easier just to let them fight.
A new
It's
layer
just
of tactics added to the game.
Yeah. It's just like you know what, you guys fucking duke it out. I'm going over here. It's like, or wait for one to like kill the other first.
Mhm.
Yeah, art in this stage is just phenomenal. And this is like what Alex was saying. You got to play this one in original because there's nothing like being locked in this bunker where the lights are out and turning on your flashlight to see. It completely destroys aesthetics to play this game with the modern overlay, the modern graphics. I think the pacing is so beautiful because it's like eerie, empty facility, start to see humans, start to wonder what's going on, and then you go in and you plug in the USB thing, and then you see the recap of the scene where the floods start appearing, and then they start pouring out in small droves, little guys, more little guys, tons of little guys. Now there's bigger guys. Now they're everywhere. Now it's get the hell out. It's such a well-designed
Mhm.
stage. It is the grand like moment of the game.
Yeah.
I loved it.
The peak,
It's-
yeah. I think.
What I love is that whenever you're playing this game for the first time, like especially if you don't know anything about Halo, because later on they really like the 2 and 3 are like, okay, well the flood's controlled by the fucking grave mind and this shit, and it's all yeah, whatever. But like if you didn't know this, like this is a left turn, it's a hard left turn, and it just blindsides you. And yeah, the fact that 3 for 3 like kind of undermines the whole thing by upping the lighting, it feels kind of sacrilege to me. It feels like if they remade which was also big on Xbox, Doom 3, but just made it to where you could always see, because that's kind of the gist of that game as well. It's like if you're like in the dark, it's supposed to be scary. If they were just like, okay, lights are on now, and it's good. Well, this game's not really scary anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe that was their point. Maybe they were like, well, Halo players aren't here for horror; they're here for action. So let's turn it up. I don't know, but I don't know what they were thinking with this with the anniversary version.
Yeah, I don't know. And the reason I like the other one maybe slightly more is that I actually don't see Halo as a horror game. So, because I'm more of 2, and then I'm 2 and 3, which, as I recall, didn't really have a lot of horror elements. They're just more action. So I kind of envisioned that other level in Halo as more of just what I like from Halo. But this level just offered something completely different, and just was not expecting it, was like completely turned around by it. Really big fan of it. And small thing is they were basically a drop of human weapons. So and we got the shotgun, which I pretty much use from this point on. So
Oh yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
dude. The shotgun was phenomenal here.
shotgun and pistol. I rotated between those, so I'd have like a sniper and then a short range human destroyer. Yeah, it was
Sniper pistol.
oh my god, it was just a great level. Fantastic.
Not this stage, but from the next stage on is what me and Teddy played together. And yeah, basically, anytime I died, first thing I'd be like, okay, where's the shotgun? I gotta get a shotgun.
Yep.
It just becomes so necessary, honestly.
Satisfying.
Um,
Oh man. Shotgun mechanics in video games are crazy.
Mhm.
That
Oh,
snipers,
yeah.
there's like momentary like you just get so close to an enemy. Like I don't know. There's
Oh.
something really satisfying about that.
It's just if a game can do a shotgun correctly, it's just that like your brain gets that like hit of that hit of dopamine, It's just like
Gun feel
this
is
is
important.
amazing.
Gun feel is very important, and that's why a lot of the guns are not satisfying in this game. Like the normal assault rifle, whatever it is, it just doesn't feel great. The plasma pistols, I don't know what is a
I'll
plasma
defend the
pistol.
assault rifle here, though, for those segments where you're getting flooded by flood, where there's
It's
like a
very
bunch of
useful
little
there.
guys. Yes.
Yeah.
I almost felt like it turned into like a puzzle game when trying to kill the flood, where you try to kill one near that's in like the middle of a flood thing and watch it like disintegrate the rest of them. So it was very like puzzly almost.
Oh, yeah, the next level.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
So you do meet the Guilty Spark, aka the Oracle, on this stage. It's a little ball, controls the facilities here on Halo, and he needs your help. Oh no, we're gonna help him. So that's our setup for the next stage. The next stage, I think, is in terms of the horror stages, probably my favorite, even though it is very corridory. That is the library, because the library is just a flood stage. It's completely just a flood stage where there's no covenant. You're fighting your way through the library with the Oracle to find the installation to start the Halo itself. And yeah, it's very hard, especially on higher difficulties. Me and Teddy it felt that this time, but it's very fun to play through. Though I've actually played through this one a few times, just like selecting missions, because it is just like unlike any of the other missions in the game.
I'll go ahead and make a prediction that this is the one that made Spencer. Like,
Yeah,
too much.
is
for
it?
him.
Is this the
No,
one?
but it's the second worst one in the game.
Okay.
Okay.
I
saw-
hated
oh,
this
sorry.
level. I fucking
bet,
but
yeah.
for exactly what you're talking about. It's,
I understand why, because stage 5 is the reason that I knew I wanted to play this in co-op. But I could
battle-
see that in playing it co-op with Alex. Like, wow, this is taking a long time for us. How would it be if playing this in single player?
oh,
It drags. But I kind of like it though, because it is like the flood are kind of scary. You know, like
It-
trying
it
to
would be
fight them all. So.
it would definitely be more fun if I was playing this co-op. Because then when you play co-op, it almost turns all these things into like arenas. Whereas one, I'm just literally trying to get from A to B, and it's like,
Yeah.
we'll kill all these things first. Okay, now you can go. Okay, kill all these things. Now you can. I'm like, oh my god! And it went on for what, like 4 floors of it.
Yeah,
It just
it
goes
went on for a
my
while.
gosh.
on and on. It's just terrible. Just awful. I hated it. I despise this level.
Really cool
I like-
moments, though. You know, like
Yeah,
I really
I
like when like
appreciate
the
it for
doors opening, and then like they start like flooding out.
Yeah, it's cool the first time.
Yeah, not the third, like the 10th time you die and get the checkpoint respawn.
Yeah.
I just appreciate it for trying to like a new style of stage with like you. So it's sort of like you fading up, like just facing off like a zombie horde, you know, and it's sort of it's cool.
Well, like
I
I,
like it
said,
for that
this,
reason.
it is trying it for consoles, but this kind of thing had been done to death on PC. I mean, Serious Sam, you got games like doing this kind of thing over and over again. I don't need to play this. This is below me. As they say.
But honestly, other than that, there's not too much happening on this stage. It is just a battle of attrition, basically, where you're just trying to get to the end and fight the flood. So
Copy paste segments.
yeah, level design is pretty full. Yeah, copy paste, flat elevators. It's basically that's it. But the fun of this level is just from the combat.
Involved.
You do get some more important story information here on this stage. You find you find out that oh no, never mind, it's the next stage, I think, right? Hold on. I might be wrong.
Probably.
with the story
Although it was
stuff.
going over my head, so you can be story man.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's the next stage, but you do get the index on this stage, which you need to start Halo. The Oracle says that once you start Halo with the index, the flood will be eliminated, and you're like, hooray, let's do that. So that's sort of the story on the stage.
MacGuffin.
Now we can move on to two, but yeah, the index is AKA MacGuffin. Moving on to what is like one of the most infamous stages in Halo history: 2 betrayals.
Why is it infamous? Because it sucks.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I was gonna say this
Because
is the one I hate the most.
It's. Yeah, no. This is like in Halo campaign history, 2 betrayals is like seen as like one of the hardest stages.
I don't even know it was that hard. It was just shitty. Like it was just bad.
Yeah.
it combined what Teddy was talking about with the last time we were here, because this is not the first time we've been here. This is
Right.
the place that we've already retreaded before. We're just coming back to it. Only now they added flood to it, so I guess it's different. Hint, it's not. And then you're also going through samey corridors, this time with flood in it. So I guess it's different. It's not. It's literally the same thing.
And more tanks.
And more tanks that control like shit. Every
Banshees,
vehicle in this game.
You gotta float your banshee. Go to the checkpoint.
That's the
areas.
one cool thing, and they only do it.
Ah,
like
come
twice.
on. The ghosts are cool. I like the ghosts.
Yeah, but you
you
don't
like the ghosts,
really need to ride them. I don't know. They're just whatever.
but they're still cool.
All right.
Oh.
I despise this level. I was so angry playing it. It felt like the biggest waste of time. Like, oh, cool. I've been here before, like 2 levels ago. Great. I get to do it again. Nice. Excellent waste of like 40 minutes.
And that was already my least favorite level. So like if I had to do this again coming back, I wouldn't have loved it, especially on heroic.
Mm.
Oh my god. But me and Alex kind of cruised through it, so I don't know. It's my thing that I'm realizing is like some of these stages are designed for co-op and some of them are not. Stage
Yes.
6, where you're first introduced to the flood, I am so grateful I played that in single player
Mhm.
to really experience that. Like Halo horror, I didn't know existed, by myself.
Yeah.
But stage 7, stage 8, good thing I got Alex. I don't know if I had a video today.
Well,
Ugh.
this one, I kind of appreciate some aspects of this one, mainly the use of the verticality, where you have to get the banshees and have to traverse upwards to some areas.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that. I kind of wish they did that a little more throughout this game. I like that element. So
I like
it
that
kind of
element,
makes it
yeah.
feel more like an exploration game, yeah. But
That
everything
was
else is
the-
just
the
yeah.
one
it's
good
just-
piece was that.
yeah, everything else sucks. It's not very good.
Fucking hated this level.
Yeah. And then you like walk out of a corridor, and then you're just like, oh shit, there's 2 tanks. And boom, it's blew up. You're like, oh, fuck. But in terms of story bits, this is the most important stage of the game. It's called 2 Betrayals for a reason, because you find out that yes, you are going to install the index, and you are going to eliminate the flood. What the Oracle has failed to tell you, what Cortana finds out and tells you, is that when activating Halo, you don't actually kill the flood. You kill all of its food resources. So every piece of human and alien life in the galaxy will be eliminated, thus killing the flood in the process because they will starve. So, yeah, he almost killed us all.
Well, I just based on the ending of this game, I kind of have some questions about just thematically what they were going for with that, but I guess we can tackle it then.
All right. But it is cool though. I kind of do like that revelation. It's like, oh shit, Halo is a weapon to like destroy everything. Okay.
Could have guessed that.
Whatever. The Oracle's an asshole. Well, yeah, but just I'm experiencing the game, man.
No, it was a life-giving fun machine.
A life-giving fun machine, Halo.
It made cotton candy and it shot it into the
Ooh, a galaxy full of cotton candy.
Mm.
This game.
Ooh. All right, moving on to keys. This is the last of the horror-ish stages we're going to get. It kind of retreads ground with a little bit of the swamp area from 343 Guilty Spark that we had before. But you're also on a mission to go into the another Covenant ship to save keys. That asshole can't stop getting captured. And so this one combines the best horror stage with possibly the best regular stage, which is the 3rd stage. So you have the beginning, you're in the swamp, you fight in the flood and the Covenant at the same time, and then you go up into the Covenant ship to save keys. So we've done this before, but it's like a little bit of a mixed up. It's like a remix.
Remix.
It's like a remix.
This is the remix. So, cool. I like this stage. I think this stage is pretty good.
Yeah, it's fun. It's just, it reminds me of the one I like a lot from earlier in the game. I think it's like the 4th or 3rd or 4th stage. but
The
now
third
it's
one.
now it's all
Yeah.
dark and gloomy and has all the flood in it. Covenant fighting the flood and everything. Yeah, really fun
Yeah.
stage. Just like a good actiony, a little bit of horror, but not as much at this point. I do have one thing to say about the flood. I was really excited to see them at the beginning. I think they added a lot to it, but they changed my gameplay mechanic so drastically, especially playing single player, that it was a lot of shoot, 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 wait for them to come in, shoot them individually, wait for it. Okay, let's go back out, keep going. Okay, hold on. Now the flood's here again. Let me go back into this hole, shoot, shoot, shoot. It slowed the gameplay. It reminds me of like when I play Sonic. The expectation is that I go fast and like do a lot of running and jumping.
Wait, you play Sonic?
Sonic Mania, baby. But I don't play it that way because to me it just more logically makes sense to like stop and then jump over things and slow down. And I just feel like it brought this game to a halt, which I didn't like from a gameplay perspective. So the flood, I just have so many mixed feelings on the flood because really cool enemy, but gameplay wise, it really brought the gameplay down for me for what I like.
Yeah, but I think this is the area that has the most like of what I was talking about earlier, where the Flood and the Covenant will battle each other,
Yes.
which I think is a cool element.
That is a cool element, yeah.
Yeah, so you can really take advantage of that in some of the areas.
I think I just wish that I wish that the little guys weren't as obtrusive. Like if it were more just the
little-
big guys, I would be happier with it. Because the little guys, as cool as they are, just at this point of the game, just kind of got in the way. It was like, come on.
They screw things up too because they can hijack a dead flood, like a dead bigger guy, and then bring them back to life.
Yeah.
So if you don't take out those little guys, it screws you up.
Right. So the game just becomes like a very patient game of like, just kill them all. Wait. Okay, they're dead. We can move forward. It just slows the game down for me a lot.
Playing this one on a heroic with Teddy was a bit of a bitch, especially when you get up into the Covenant ship. You're in the tight corridors with both the Flood and the Covenant, and God, that was difficult. And you do eventually find keys. Spoiler alert: he's turned into like a Flood egg sack thing. Beautiful. So
Yeah,
you
playing
punch him in
co-op
the
that
face.
did not impact me at all. That's just okay.
But one of the elements I did want to talk about after you find keys and he's dead and you take him out, you put him out of his misery stuff. You do have to escape with the Banshee, and the way you're supposed to approach this is that you're supposed to fight your way down to the lower floor, get a Banshee, and leave. But the way Teddy and I did it is that we parkoured our way to the damn Banshee off the top. Because like you're on the third floor of the hangar and you have to get down to the bottom floor, and if you just jump, you die. So we like parkoured across one of the enemy ships onto the middle platform and then
Yes.
down. Because like if you fall with a full shield, you won't die. So you still take damage, but you won't die. So we got to like it took us a few tries to do it, but we ended up doing that, and then we ended up as I think I finally got the Banshee to get out, but it took us a few tries because we were not fighting our way down the fucking 3 floors. We were just getting out of there. So
Wow.
we had to like, cheat
Brave
our way out.
boys. I like it. That's good. I fought my way down like a Chad, but I guess you guys have your own method.
True Chad. So we're moving on to the last mission.
Let's do it.
Halo to goodbye.
Let's go to the mall. So we know that Halo is gonna. Oh yeah, the index gets stolen and stuff, right? So the Halo is gonna be fired and it's gonna destroy everything. So we're heading down to the mall to not the mall. That'd be nice.
The mall.
Get orange
Going down to
juice.
the mall.
Going to the mall. Get a pretzel. No, we are going to the mall, and our plan is to destroy this ship and turn it into a bomb. As our goal for the mission. So we are going to Metroid this bitch and blow up the planet Halo ring thing. So, I like this area. It looks distinct. I think in terms of the corridor areas, I think it's of the corridor areas, it might be the one that has the most design put into it that doesn't feel copy pasted, and that's for a reason because you have to use very specific tasks in this one. And we'll talk about that as we go along. But yeah, it kind of feels like a mirror to the first stage when you're in the Pillar of Autumn, but it is better designed, in my opinion. So.
Very strange ideas, though. This is the first one where we came across a storeroom.
Mhm.
I had not seen that in any previous levels, so it was like very confusing to me, like rewarded like accidental exploration.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very so. Yeah, the rest of the game didn't do that. Yeah, because we found like a rocket launcher in one of the rooms, didn't we?
Bunch of shotguns, like assault rifles. It's like what?
Yeah, but I think it was like the rocket launcher because you especially need that. You're gonna need
Mhm.
a rocket launcher to make. the
Yeah,
stage
that, I mean
easier.
that was super helpful for sure.
I didn't use it.
Well, you don't need it, but it is helpful. So, Spencer, aren't you
You
cool?
didn't use a plasma pistol either. You
Cool
know,
guy.
I got you.
Cool guy of the week goes to Spencer. Give him the
Of
award.
the year.
No, weekly, month. I'll give you month.
Month.
How about that one?
I'll take month.
Cool guy of the month goes to Spencer.
Absolutely.
Employee of the month.
Not employee, just cool guy of the month.
Volunteer of the month.
So yes, we are supposed to blow up this ship, and that requires something very unique to the stage is the fact that we have to actually do like some precision grenade tossing / rocket shooting into like these ducts to blow up the ship. Which first time you ever play this, none of the levels have you do that, so it can be a little confusing when Cortana's like, push the button, the shaft will pull back, you have to throw the thing into the duct, and you're like, what are you talking about? I just shoot guys. I've shot guys the whole game. What are you fucking?
Oh, and good luck throwing grenades in it. It's such a bitch.
That's why you need those rockets.
I
Man.
wish I had the rockets.
That's what you get for being cool.
Yeah, the cool penalty.
But yeah, we haven't really talked about them. But you, since you are fighting against the Oracle now, there are drones through some of the stages, and this is the one where the drones get a little much because they're trying to laser you down. They do not want you to blow up this thing.
A trick I found was to wait, because usually when the drones came out, also there was like a flood infestation about the same time. So I would watch the drones come out, then I'd run hiding in one of the corridors, and then the flood would usually come out, and then they would just start fighting each other. But God,
Yeah.
it just, like I said, it kind of slows the game down. I don't really like that.
Plasma pistol.
Teddy solution
Easy
in
trick.
life. Plasma pistol.
When in doubt.
Plasma pistol.
No
your
money
way
for
out.
groceries? Plasma pistol.
Plasma pistol.
Plasma pistol.
Dude, hell yeah, dude. You think I'm a cashier's gonna stand up to a plasma pistol?
Total is 86.
Like whatever, take the
45.
second.
Well, that's funny you should say that because check out my fully loaded,
Oh.
fully charged plasma
Yeah,
pistol.
it's like shaking.
Yeah.
it.
Check
Not
out my
depleting.
coupon here.
I got 85% charge.
Fine, you get the sack of potatoes for free.
Here's your sack.
Here's your sack. Yeah, so the initial stage you're fighting through, you have to blow up the engine and the console to start the countdown sequence to explode the thing, turn to a bomb, basically. But why this stage is very memorable is because, and Spencer, I want to hear your thoughts, especially, is because you have to do a Warthog escape sequence via Metroid or something, where you have to get out in a certain amount of time. It's gonna blow up. Spencer doesn't like the controls of the Warthog, so I have a theory here that he didn't like this part.
It was all right.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't like the controls for Warthog, but it was mostly straightforward, so that helps. That it
That's
wasn't like,
true. That's true.
Yeah. But God, when you like accidentally hit a pillar and you're just trying to maneuver it, it's like death. But other than that, it was okay. I liked it.
3D Excite Bike.
Yeah.
You ever
Yeah.
play like Excite Bike and you're trying to figure out how to land the bike?
Yeah, over the
You
jump.
cannot figure out how to land the Warthog.
There's no right way to land that
Yeah.
plane. It's just terrible.
I let because I've played through this game quite a few times, so I let Teddy take the drive on this.
I was spinning all over the place, flipping Warthogs, but we made it.
I like
So-
that it turns you into like a
Yeah.
callous bastard because when you get to that middle section and they're like, "We're gonna pick you up at this circle area," and then they obviously get destroyed by ghosts or phantoms or whatever.
Banshees.
Banshees.
Banshees. Yeah.
Yeah, so like they're all just like different kinds of ghosts. When you or no, the other ones are wraiths, right? I never
Yeah,
noticed
wraiths.
that.
So, yeah,
Those
so
are tanks.
They're all
Yeah.
ghosts. I never put that together. Anyway, so yeah, when you get out there and you do that, you're supposed to like wait and watch the ship get destroyed, and then be like, okay, we have a new exit point. Yeah. But I failed my first time going through it, and then the second time I stopped at that part. You're like, wait, stop. This is where we're gonna get picked up. And then I looked and saw it, and I said, nope. And I just kept driving. Like they ain't
See you
gonna-
later.
Yeah, they ain't gonna make it. Let's go to the next one.
I do Warthog controls aside, I do appreciate the segment because it does feel pretty tense trying to escape the launch sequence, the like explosion sequence and stuff. There like especially near the end there is times where you can cut it close, especially when you have to get out and then run down the platform. I think Teddy and I got there with like 30 seconds to spare, so we had to like get out like at that point. So we had 30 seconds to run down the platform to get on the ship. So,
Yeah.
you
Very
know, it can make it feel pretty tense. Yeah.
I mean, they really had a flair for the cinematic in this game, which I was impressed by. Like a lot of moments where the screen would narrow, and then you would be like looking at something that's interesting or whatever. And then this ending was very cinematic. Yeah, just a lot of cool stuff from a
It's
visual.
cinematic, but I just don't get it. I don't like. Alex is telling us the story, and I still don't like understand why did we just blow up Halo? I guess it's the flood or taking over or something.
No, because he's gonna the Oracle's gonna launch Halo and it's gonna wipe existence out of the universe. It's gonna kill humans and aliens.
Oh, you're
So
gonna
that was our-
launch Halo? It's like an atomic
Like-
weapon.
Yeah. It's a weapon, so it's gonna kill everything in the universe, starving out the flood. So we're all gonna die if that thing, if that thing, like gets activated. We've never actually seen Halo in use before. We just know what it is. So I can't tell you if it's like a laser or it's like a big fart noise. But it's whatever is going to happen whenever that thing activates. We're all gonna die. So that's why you.
So what's going on with the Oracle? Why does the Oracle want to do that?
Because he was created by the Forerunners, who created Civilization, by the way. And his whole purpose is to activate Halo and to stop the flood from spreading to the rest of the galaxy. So
Basically,
that's-
His solution is
basically-
to destroy the galaxy.
well, they hate
Yeah.
the flood, so
Yeah.
their goal is to destroy the flood. The flood is basically the assumption, I guess, would be that if we didn't just do anything and there was no Halo, then the flood would come eventually to Earth, I guess, down the road. Is the fear of Halo, and that's why their goal is to destroy the flood. But I don't know. That's
So
a lot of
okay.
questions
So
that I
the
have.
Forerunners created civilization, including humanity. It also created the Halo weapons, because the Halo weapons are supposed to be used to eliminate the flood. If the flood ever emerges, the Halos launch and it wipes out their food resources, which are us. Presumably, this wouldn't have killed the Forerunners. We don't know if they're dead.
Well, but
so too
hold
late
on,
for that.
real quick pause. So, just thinking about it logically, to destroy the thing that they also created?
I don't think they created the flood. I don't know
No.
where the flood came from.
But they're destroying humanity. They're destroying everything else that they created.
Right. That's my hiccup.
Yeah.
That's where
Right,
I'm like,
it's like-
I'm lost.
It doesn't quite, like, from a logistics perspective, it's like, why would you bother to create everything under the pretense that you're also going to destroy it if you ever saw the flood?
I don't know. I don't know, dude.
Is that ever explained in
I
the 50 different?
I don't.
Halo
Probably
Or
in some
even if you
book
play
or movie
just the
or
first
something.
game. Do you get all of this? I didn't.
I got.
You have to
I-
really listen to.
I
like,
didn't get-
the people.
The only thing I don't get is that the Forerunners created created civilization. I
Right,
didn't
but
get
that's
that.
like a
No,
major
yeah.
playing point here.
It
where
is.
it's
They,
like
they don't
the
talk about that at
Forerunners
this point.
It is a major
created
playing
the
point
Oracle.
for Halo Combat Evolved. It actually makes more sense that they didn't create us, because if we under that, then they wouldn't care about destroying us. They just
Right,
they
then
just
the
care-
oracles and the robots and the AI would just take over and just explode everything. Like
Yeah,
I
they would-
kind of get that.
They would just care about destroying the flood, which makes sense. Like, okay, kill these humans. Who cares? We just want to make sure the flood's dead. The fact that they also created humans now creates a big logistic problem.
Let me double check this, because again, I'm not the fucking Halo lore guy. So I'm gonna type in did Forerunners, because that's what I picked up before, was that they kind of put civilization on its path. Create humanity.
It's very like Lavos from Chrono Trigger.
Yeah.
The Forerunners seeded humanity on their own homeworld of Earth, where they would be forced to evolve again. So yes, they planted the seeds for humanity. Yes, that was them.
So then, yeah,
And this stage says the Master Chief makes his way through the UNSC Pillar of Autumn's wreck in order to detonate the ship's fusion reactors and destroy Halo, the Flood, and the Covenant Armada, thus preventing the destruction of humans and potentially all sentient life in the galaxy.
Mhm.
I
Right.
guess, well, there's a question too of like, why were the Covenant on Halo? I guess the Covenant
Oh.
were on Halo to do a similar deed.
Oh, I can tell you that. So the Covenant, they don't talk about this in the first game. It's mainly the later games. The Covenant believe they're religious, and they believe in the Great Journey. The Great Journey, they basically worship the Forerunners as gods. And the Great Journey is the belief that after activating the Halo ring, you will ascend to some afterlife or something. Some great journey.
Okay.
As they
Like
say.
Valhalla.
So that's what the Covenant are doing. That's why they are actively looking for Halo and always want to activate it. That's what the first trilogy of games is all about. So
Okay.
I'm
so
just
it's-
left with more questions, but I kind of get it, I guess.
Well, they, like Christianity, the assumption is that when you die, you go to heaven, assuming you were a good
Yeah.
Christian.
yeah,
So they're just trying to get to
And-
heaven. That makes sense.
they don't know what the Halo does either. All they know is that once they activate it, they will ascend. So
Right.
they don't know that's going to wipe out the existence.
So the only part that doesn't really make sense is that the Forerunners created humanity, because it just leaves a question: why would they try
think-
to destroy it?
That's the canon now. I have a feeling they glued that shit in later, probably, right?
Oh, that's some 343 nonsense.
Yeah, no, I don't know if that was 343 or Bungie, but I have a feeling that idea of the Forerunners creating humanity probably didn't exist when they wrote this first game. That's what I'm thinking, because it doesn't make sense. You're right. But,
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't read all those stupid little books and watched the little animated or fucking live action movies they put out. They have like 4 of those things. You know that? They have 4 movies.
No.
Why?
Oh.
So I haven't done all that, so I don't know. Some nerd, some Halo nerd, tell us in the comments, please. Leave us a
Playing it.
yeah. Leave us a long explanation of what the hell.
Why we're wrong
And
about
why.
what we said.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
We know we're
Yeah.
wrong. We're making a video. You're welcome. Now you can.
Some Halo fan could come in
Best
here and
way.
fucking blast me because, like I said, this is just my understanding of the plot and what I've picked up over the years. But there's probably way more than that. It's like, no, actually, actually.
Blast away. This is a blasting game. That's how I characterize it. I don't care about the story. I just want to blast.
Yeah. Same.
That's hilarious. That I at this point in time, I have completely finished the Master Chief Collection. I have beat all the missions in the campaign and done there. I beat all 6 games. And I have it's so funny you said that because every time, okay, so Xbox, whenever you get like an achievement, it'll have just like a regular achievement where it pops up lump and it shows you like, oh, you fucking killed a grunt. Or it'll have the rare achievement where the diamond will come up and I make it all like a big deal. Every campaign mission I beat in this damn collection, every single one, it would be like, you could put a chapter, this one. And then it would give me the rare achievement. People are not playing the campaigns in this collection. They bought this damn collection or got it and just played the multiplayer. So like
Yep.
every single campaign mission on all 6 games, I got rare achievements for beating the mission. It was
Sad
super
truth.
interesting to me.
Absolutely. They know.
Yeah, and I was like, damn, nobody's playing this.
And for the first game, the first like we're at the point where you're
Yeah.
supposed to start. You know, that's crazy.
Like I understand maybe like ODST or Reach or 4 like that, but like the trilogy, man, like people are not people weren't playing this and playing the campaign. They were just got it for multiplayer, I guess. Okay,
I mean,
sure.
that's why I would have gotten it. To play.
Yeah,
Halo
you
2.
wanna play
It
the
is a
campaign?
Game
That's a
Pass
multiplayer.
game, so how many people have added it to the library and like not really played it?
Well,
Yeah,
I think it sold well when it first came out. A while ago,
yeah.
but now,
I remember there
certainly
being some
now
issues with you.
Now it's Game Pass, so yeah, there's literally anybody can just go on and just play some Halo multiplayer and get off.
Nobody's playing it though now. Me and Teddy tried to play this online one night, and we only got one match with these 2 dudes who just like fucking. They clearly that's all they do because they like owned a portion of the stage and just like snipe us. And then
I got an achievement in that match for killing a developer of the game.
Yeah, it was the 343 developer. So
my
and
God.
then we tried to get another match going, and it was the same damn guys. Nobody's playing.
It was crazy. The record was like 3-20, like in one match. Like we had 3
Oh,
kills, and they
God.
won the Team Slayer. It was
Everybody's moved on to
disgusting.
Infinite and stuff. I guess maybe 5, but probably Infinite. So yeah, everybody's playing Infinite now. Nobody's playing the Master Chief Collection online.
Infinite's okay, but like kind of like you alluded to, it's just Call of Duty at this point. I don't know.
Yeah, they've Call of Dutyized it. Yeah,
What's the point?
yeah. I mean, I have enough to say about 343, but my God, if you ever watch, there's like videos online. Some guy did a really long one about 343, and he was talking about like the history of 343 and like the competitive scene. And my God, Halo fans, especially like competitive Halo fans, fucking hate 343 and all the changes and what they've done with the series. They fucking despise them.
Wow.
So yeah,
See it.
super interesting. I guess like
I just think they should.
I've
direct
liked
it
Infinite. I thought Infinite was fun. So.
I think they should just direct it at Microsoft. 343 is just a bunch of people that make games
Yeah.
as Microsoft has instructed.
Well, 343 only existed because of Microsoft.
Right.
343 was literally a team. Like Microsoft, instead of handing Halo, whenever Bungie left after Reach to go make Destiny, instead of being like, okay, we're gonna give it to fucking whoever, this other developer we have under our wing, maybe you can give it a try. Instead of doing that, they were like, we'll form a new Halo team, and so Microsoft basically made a brand new developer just for Halo, and it's not going great so far. So.
Nope.
Yeah. So, guys, we have mapped out Halo Combat Evolve.
Yay!
Thoughts?
Maybe our most commercially successful game that we've mapped out.
Nah, is it?
We did Final Fantasy VII.
It's probably like one of the most influential games. That was commercial. Man, that prop Square Enix up for one.
I mean, it's
Let's
up
go
there.
to-
Final Fantasy VII. We did Halo. We did The Last of Us.
Oh yeah, I was at.
Oh,
that
The
one.
Last of Us, mine. Yeah, well, and The Last of Us 2. We did both of those. Okay,
I-
hold on.
I
I'm,
don't-
I'm going to VG charts.
I think the first one is just more of the revolutionary one. I mean, Super Mario World is a pretty big deal.
Oddworld.
Oddworld. Let's not forget. Oddworld.
Very odd deal.
We did Mario 64. That's a huge one.
Nuts and Bolts. We did Nuts and Bolts.
We did do
Banjo
Banjo
Pilot?
Pilot. You're right. We did do Banjo Pilot. You're right.
Yeah.
We did Tiny Toons, Buster Bust Loose.
Shinobi.
If it weren't that one, it would be. There's a better one I think that might have been it.
Buster
that-
Bust a
not-
Nut, yeah.
Buster.
Actually,
Buster's Nut. Buster comes hard.
in terms of influential, actually, like if you're talking about games we mapped out that are influential, The Last of Us is a good pick. and Spencer doesn't like this game, but it's up there. It's honestly Shenmue. We did do Shenmue, and that game's also influential. So.
Same time period.
I combine influential and with successful, personally, like, for big games, and I just don't think it had that going forward as well. Probably because it went on released on the Dreamcast. So shit console.
Let's see.
Yeah,
I was trying to bring up VG charts, but it's being slow.
we did Ocarina of Time, obviously influential.
I did. I didn't. I wouldn't.
I didn't say you did, Alex.
I was taking.
I know
a
you
nap.
have to tell us every time because you don't like that game, but I'm just saying that we did do that game.
He's open to it though. He's open to doing an Ocarina of Time map.
Well, it's funny we did an Ocarina of Time map out and you didn't show up. So
I'll do it.
I'm not gonna
These people won't like it, though.
redo that game just to have Alex go. Uh-oh. Alex is about to say
I never said
controversial.
I never said I wouldn't do it. I said I never
Okay,
said I wouldn't do it. I said
I have
I
VG charts
shouldn't
data.
do it.
So take a guess. How much did Halo ship?
Is this combined with Anniversary or just the original?
I think it's just the original.
15 million?
I'm trying to think because that seems high for me. At the time, that seems high because gaming wasn't what it is now in terms of like.
Well, as a
Pop
system,
culture,
as a system
so I'm not-
seller, and I'm sure they're packaging it with like the best.
Oh,
of-
okay. You know, I do have a better breakdown of this, but okay, go ahead.
I'll just say 15 million. I'll stick to that.
And Alex?
I'm gonna say 50 million seems high. I'm gonna say 10 million.
Okay, so it's confusing because it says the mainline Halo series. Oh, it did a whole series breakdown. Okay, the original Halo Combat Evolved is 5 million. When you look at it, if you just
Oh.
click Halo on VG charts, it says 81 million. So I think that's every
I
Halo
al-
game.
Right.
I almost said 5 million, but I didn't want to undercut myself though.
It seems a little low, right?
That seems really low.
Yeah, well, it's just games do crazy amount now compared
So-
to back then.
The trend goes upwards. Halo 2 is 8 million, and Halo 3 is 14.5 million.
Like people always think of like the NES as being like revolutionary and selling the NES compared to what today would have been seen as like a failure compared to today, because games are just so much now. You know, like we sell. There's such a bigger like audience now than there used to be, even back on the original Xbox. So
Okay, The Last of Us, the original, not the remaster, did 8.15 million. And then
Not
the
bad.
remaster did 18.63 million.
yeah, sounds
Part
right.
2 did 10.3 million.
It gets messy though with as you get into the newer generations, because you start to get like digital downloading as opposed to physical media, and it's like, okay, well, there was also like a sale for like where it was $5 on something, or,
Sure.
and then it's like and they packaged this with like it was like on a PS Plus thing or something or whatever. I don't know. It gets. I have a hard time trusting modern metrics with that stuff. It just gets really messy. Or like, how do you gauge Game Pass? Like, how do you gauge? Like,
Yeah.
does it count that I bought Persona 3 Reloaded? Because I didn't, but I certainly have played a lot of it.
It's harder to do, but also at the same time, we games do a crazy amount of now for sales just because there is a bigger audience now, because it feels like everybody like even back in the original Xbox, gaming was still sort of like a niche thing, you know, it's only for gamers, you know, but now it's like everybody kind of just plays games in some way. But even then, like now it's easier for a publisher or like a game developer to fail because if you don't ship, 18 million copies of your, or whatever dollars worth of sales on your game, your studio is going to go under because you just poured all your money into it.
So Final
I guess-
Fantasy VII on PS1 was 9.9 million.
I believe
So I
that.
guess that one takes the cake as far
Yeah.
as reliable data goes.
That game single-handedly created like the rest of the Square Enix PS1 library because they were like, shit, we made a ton of money. Now we can just try weird stuff. Parasite Eve, anyone?
And then Super Mario 64 was 11.91 million.
That one. Wait. Never mind. That wasn't a pack-in, right? No, that wasn't. Never mind. I was gonna say, was that a pack-in? No.
Super Mario World was. I'd be curious to see what that one is.
Yeah, World's a pack-in. I wouldn't trust World. 64, I trust.
I mean,
but
doesn't
don't
that
think one was
count though? Why doesn't it count?
No, that doesn't count as a game sale. You bought the console. It just comes with it.
You bought
Okay, we'll do a Wii Sports map out. You know?
Yeah. It's like Wii Sports would be the most successful game of all time, but it just came with the damn thing. Like most people bought the Wii and just threw Wii Sports in the fucking corner. You know?
I don't know. I still see people playing Wii Sports to this day.
Well, you know what I mean. They're like not saying everybody played Wii Sports. I'm saying like people bought Wii Sports involuntarily. That's what I'm saying about pack-ins. Is that you could buy the console and just you just happen to come with the game and you didn't want to play it. So.
Super Mario World has 20.9? Or 20.6 million.
See, that's the pack-in effect. Pack-in syndrome.
Wii Sports?
Wii Sports is like, I'm gonna guess because they didn't beat the PS2, but they came damn close. I'm gonna say like 30 million.
Okay, are
Sorry?
we? I don't know. 20 million. Is this? Should we end the podcast or do we want? People?
We'll end it in a second. We'll end it in a damn second. This is the end of the show.
Last one, we're closing on Wii Sports. Okay, so it says Wii Sports is 82.9, and then Wii/Nintendo Sports is 128.52.
Damn.
Billion.
Again, pack in.
All right, pack it out. Pack out the map out.
Pack out the map out. I'm back on camera. My internet got slow, so I'm gonna turn my camera back on. Maybe not. No, it didn't work. Okay. Well, my internet's slowing down, so I'm just gonna fucking go cameraless. Did I freeze
I'm not doing
or something?
it.
You're back, Alex.
Am I still here?
Yeah.
Oh man, I was giving an outro. My internet's getting slow. But thanks everybody for joining us for the Halo Combat Evolved map out. We had fun playing and talking about Halo. Maybe at some point we could do Halo 2 and 3 and that's it. Who knows? So let us know what you thought. Yeah. Who's your favorite Spartan and why is it Master Chief? He is pretty hot in his green suit. Just like at the end of every episode, I'm going to pass to Spencer, and Spencer's going to give us our words of wisdom for the episode. Spencer, can you give us some words of wisdom?
Okay, I didn't know that was a segment, but
You didn't know. You always do it.
yeah, I forgot. Yeah.
He's trying to remember because he always prepares this.
Yeah, I always had this for ready to go, and now I don't randomly. But I guess I would have to say, if you think your combat is evolved, yeah.
Hey y'all, don't forget to subscribe to them button mappers.